All right, this is Metalheads podcast coverage from the Decibel Metal Fest. And we got a whole group of people here, but let's just get started with our normals.
This is Will.
This is John.
Big Luch in the house.
We got the Luch joining us.
Oh, hey, you got John over here, too.
It's Mark from Adroit.
Mark from Adroit. And that means that he came up here with Danny Lilko from Nuclear Assault, Anthrax, etc., etc. Represent. They got some good beer they're pouring here tonight, including a Dan Lilko exclusive. What is the name of that beer?
Personal Coma.
Personal Coma. I drank that beer, and I don't remember what it's called, but I think that means the name is accurate.
And I might be in a personal coma after drinking it, which is really good.
So, this is not your first Metal Fest, I don't believe, Metal and Beer Fest, correct?
I'm sorry, what time is it? No, this is our first time here at the Decibel Fest. We obviously didn't know about it last year. People were tagging us like, why are you not here? We're like, this sounds fucking awesome. And
Was it like tag, what the fuck, question mark?
Basically. And it was funny because Albert, apparently he lives in Virginia, and he went to fucking Costco of all places and saw our beer on the shelf and picked it up, and it was basically like, what the fuck is this? And then literally called me. I think he was actually in Costco when he called me. He's like, dude, this looks awesome. Hello.
Dude, I got to slow you down real quick because we actually talked to another brewer tonight who said that they did a very special backdrop. Who was that, Will? And it was printed on a printed blanket at Costco. So, who was that?
Barnaby, dude. Barnaby Street from Wayfair, yes.
Wayfair. So I just have to mention that Costco has been name dropped twice tonight.
So basically, Costco is the metal of big box stores. That's what I'm hearing.
Costco is the middle of big box stores. So we're just like two bands in, and we just watched Horrendous.
Dress and Horrendous.
Horrendous. Who did you come to watch in particular, by the way? Or I know you're here representing beer, but
Well, I mean, we're obviously fans first. At the Gates is clearly on my list. Mayhem. Fucking Repulsion is a band that I'm very interested in seeing.
let me ask you this: how come you haven't said Carcass yet?
You mean Carcass?
Whoa! He's got the Carcass going. Well done, sir.
Touche.
You didn't understand what you were saying.
I actually pissed off At the Gates this morning because they came into our hotel, and when he came in, I said, hey, and they were at the door, right? So I said, hey, At the Gates is At the Gates, and he was like, yeah, I've never heard that motherfucker.
Before Jay goes any further, I should say that I rolled in around 11:30 in the morning in Philadelphia, and these guys were waiting for me, and it became a shit fest of beer drinking at 11:30 in the morning. So At the Gates joke was funny to us. Maybe not so to the band. In the lobby, as Luch is saying, we sat there for, 4 hours, and bands galore just stopped by and hung out with us. And
You guys are basically partying in your fucking hotel room.
Well, no, in the lobby.
In the lobby.
And the lot even better.
So
People were coming in the door. We're sitting there with pizza and beer and just slopping it up with the freaking bands. It's ridiculous, man.
Like, why even go to the concert?
So his band's coming in.
At the hotel?
Well, so we hung out with this morning with Power Mad, Repulsion, and At the Gates, and Carcass was there for briefly.
And Dan from
Yeah. Danny, well,
Yep.
The Dan
Yeah.
Lilker.
but that brings us back to you.
So Mark,
Yo.
how did the collaboration between you and Dan Lilker for Personal Coma come about?
So we met him at a Sierra Nevada fest that they were throwing, and he was representing Mikeller, and Brian and him just hit it the fuck off.
Brian Younger,
Brian,
your
yeah,
head
our
brewer.
Yeah, and
Got to elaborate on these things.
well, I think they had certain pharmaceutical interests in common, and
Which, by the way, Dan has mentioned to me at least 3 times since I've been here.
Well, anyway, so
moving
So
right along.
Mark-
So they hit it off, and I like hoppy beers, and it was kind of weird because he was with Mikeller, right? Obviously, he didn't want to be like step on any toes, but like, hey man, why don't you come down? We're kind of dabbling our toes in hoppy beers, and so he came down in February, and it was super cool. Brewed this fucking beer, and it's ridiculous.
So, what are you guys pouring here at the fest tonight? And I mean, I know one of them. We just talked about it, which was the Lilker Personal Coma, and what was the other one?
So we have we have 4 beers on draft right now. We've actually brought 9 distinct beers, but right now we have a Goza with blood orange and mango and lactose. Is basically a creamsicle. It's alcoholic fruit juice.
It's pretty fucked up, dude. And I just had it, and I liked it very much. But I will tell you this: it's not an Untapped, so get on your fucking game, dude.
I'll tell you what, I am a dark stout dude all the way, and that's not my style whatsoever. But I'll tell you what, that beer was incredible, man.
Yeah, it's like a ghost. Yeah, Danny told me to try it.
Ghost number if you're gonna check it.
Yeah. But in any case,
I'll help you guys check it.
Fair.
Our shit is very complicated on Untapped, right?
but keep going.
So we have that, and then obviously the Dippa, and then we have a double barrel-aged barley wine. Spent time in Myers rum barrels, and then we transferred it to bourbon barrels. It'll get you fucked up. It is a nice beer.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question about
I'm
that.
sorry, is this a PC?
My Lydia will listen to this, by the way.
So let me ask you a question. How is it that you guys get a hold of a Myers rum barrel? How does that work?
So you end up having to buy a bunch of barrels you're not interested in, so that you're on the list when something interesting actually comes along the pipe.
No shit, really.
Yeah,
it's
no
that.
shit.
It's
It's
that.
like that. It's
So
like
you've
that.
basically got what the $3 vodka barrel right now. I don't know if that's done in barrels, but yeah,
No,
what have
we
you?
just- we just
Tchotchke
smoke-
vodka.
We just smoke wood with those, like this. Yeah, this. But anyway, so it came.
No, that's nice. It's nice to know the inside track.
Good pulled pork with that.
And we made. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Like, this thing is fucking worthless. But they'll call us when they have something interesting. All right. No, I mean, barrels. It's a relationship, and it's hard. They're hard to get. But the Myers is nice. It literally tastes like Myers dark rum with a bourbon shot. It's crazy.
Well, now where did you? But so where is Myers done? Is that down here in America?
Oh no, it's Jamaican.
It's Jamaican rum. So some distributor somewhere you got to deal
Yeah,
with.
so we got it from a guy, an importer in Florida, and he had a relationship with them and brought in a whole pallet of them, and anyway, you get a barrel off the shipping container, and you start unloading it, and you hear it sloshing on the inside. You have hit the jackpot.
Literally, still some Myers rum in there.
Little would be an understatement.
No shit. Let me ask you this: you ever have a fucking Mai Tai, dude?
We actually have made a Mai Tai Saison, and fucking.
No, hey, I'll tell you now. I went to Hawaii for the first time in the last couple of years, and I had a Mai Tai. A Mai Tai is a good experience.
It's really. I mean, we've obviously known for making big boozy fucking beers, but I will tell you, in the last year we've started making these fucking beers that are just, I mean, they're
Bigger
beers,
and
they're
boozier.
beers that both men and women will like. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, I had the ghost tonight, so I know what you're talking about.
like, wow, this is alcoholic fruit juice, man.
Jay falls into that woman category.
Hey, no, you always got to go there.
In the relationship, is that right?
No, it's like a transitioning thing. I think is the word transitioning.
All right,
On this side of the table, we're all mad, baby.
Right now, he's just tucking it between the leg right now.
It's. I think the word is catcher and what is it? Pitcher and catcher. With Will, I'm a catcher. Fine.
Jay's catcher.
Okay, cool. Well, it's like that scene in Silence of the Lambs where he's like, "I'll fuck you. I'd fuck you."
Oh, yeah. That's a great scene.
Yeah, I know.
So, where is Adroit? Is in up in New York, upstate New York, correct?
No.
Why? Well, I'm going off Loker now, so
Oh yeah, no.
you're telling. Hey, whoa, hey, all right.
Sorry. Malfunction. Danger, Will Robinson.
Here they are. The main event has arrived.
Yeah. So anyway, you're in the Percival, Virginia. I'm sorry that Jay's
He's on the
just
East Coast at least.
Yeah,
he
Jay-
didn't say San Diego.
yeah, Jay's basically like, oh, how you doing? He was like, but Alex. Anyway.
All right, yeah, you don't talk to me.
Wait.
Let's get the show.
I'm
on
sorry. You want to
Well,
wrap?
we-
You want to
we're
wrap
gonna
this
talk
up
to
because
them
you're a
first.
whore,
the guy
right?
with the really nice hair.
Basically, Jay's like, I saw chicks, and I'm gonna.
I'm sorry.
Is
Are there chicks at this event? I haven't seen any since we've been here.
It's
It's a sea
I'm
of
just-
white
it
men.
was
I'm
a
not
long-haired
mistaken.
man.
No,
It was-
Dan Loker's wife is here.
So what you're saying is this is like a Rush show, a sausage fest?
Rush, man.
I think it's called Sausage Fest.
Yes.
All right. Well, so what
There's worse things that could happen to you.
did you? I got up and stood up for a minute, but where is Adroit actually located?
We're in Virginia. man. Outside of D.C.
Okay.
So,
All right.
so Jay, they're close to Will and I, so just leave it at that.
By close to, how do you mean?
You know, like nuclear blast radius.
So just to bring this down to some kind of comprehensible interview, you guys are going to be here for the whole 2 days.
Yes.
And
Represent and slang, hopefully.
yeah,
Hopefully
well,
slang.
I'll say this: everything I've had both the things you're pouring tonight. They're fucking great, dude.
I appreciate that.
By the way.
Yeah, we have some. We also have. Yeah, I was gonna say we have a stout that the description of the stout is actually longer than the name of the fucking beer itself. I mean, it's a kitchen sink beer.
Are you pouring it tonight, or is it just
Wait a
okay?
minute.
All right.
Is that your milk stout?
Milk
Dude,
stout.
I just had that and it was incredible. I swear to God.
What's the name of that?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, imagination atrophy.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll check it out.
Great.
And caramel, vanilla,
Yeah.
coffee, toasted coconut,
Oh.
macadamia nuts, cinnamon sticks,
Okay.
and bourbon infused honey.
That was definitely awesome.
Let me
And diabetes.
and diabetes. Let me ask you one more question before we wrap this up, because you're going to stick around while we talk to Horrendous.
I'm
But-
very excited about
Yeah.
being Horrendous. It's a band that actually I want to make a beer with.
Yeah, they're 2 feet away from us
They
now.
look like
But
they
no,
look
but
like beer.
let's don't ruin it. Who else of the other brewers here tonight and this weekend? Whose stuff do you like to try? Who did you go like? I got to go try their stuff tonight.
Well, I mean, I'm not an idiot. The first thing I did is go drink that Chemtrail Dark Lord because I'm not an idiot.
No, and so did there were tickets involved
I know,
in
like
that
our
one, dude.
tickets,
Yeah.
right? But we're huge fans of True. Burial out of North Carolina makes awesome beer. And Brash. I don't know if you guys had there any beers or from.
Yeah, no, we did.
Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did Jerk Store.
Yeah. I know, it's funny.
The Jerk Store's calling. They're all out of will. What was the other one they were pouring tonight?
I had that about
Yeah, it was a stout.
I had it probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and I haven't had it since. So I would definitely want to revisit that.
Say the name of it again.
Smog Lifter.
Smog Lifter, and they're pouring it tonight.
Yes, they are having.
Yeah.
And of course,
Good guys.
and you know that of course, just like with you guys, there's a lot of brewers here that are also in bands and so on and so forth. Zach in particular at True is in Khemmis.
Khemmis.
You know Khemmis?
I know Khemmis. Khemmis is the shit.
Khemmis is the shit. Fair enough. All right, dude. Well, it was nice of you to spend a few minutes with us, but we're going to keep you with us while we talk to Horrendous, or as we've called them this weekend, Hideous. Hey, there's been a lot of beer.
Credit for that one.
As long as it's not hideous, we're all right.
Hideous. There's been a lot of beer poured here tonight. All right, so we'll check out for now, and Hideous, Horrendous will be with us in a few minutes. Will, hey,
Said that too. That's gonna happen.
Horrendous.
Sorry, I'm overtaking the microphone. That's enough, Jay. Jay, go sit in the corner.
That was a fairly sober interview, Will.
No, it was not. Anyway.
You're the only one that thought that.
Yeah. Hideous. Go sit in the corner. Mark, say goodbye.
Adios.
Adios.
All right, this is Jay. We're checking in now from Decibel Fest again. We got a band that we have enjoyed very much on the podcast, and we enjoyed very much tonight. Horrendous. You guys played a killer set tonight, but let's just go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I am Matt. I play guitar and half the vocals.
Jamie and I play drums. Damien, also guitar and vocals.
Alex, I play bass.
Where's the other half of the vocals?
Yeah, right here. Yep, guitar and vocals.
I apologize. And first, and one thing to really mention about this band is that you guys are all pretty young, man, to be playing the kind of fucking sophisticated metal that you're doing. And I mean that as a compliment. So, first off, I'm here. Will and John are still with us. We've got Adam. Mark. I'm sorry, Mark. Mark from Adroit Theory, and sorry, Mark. I'm sorry. So, one of the reasons.
Holding the mic. Anyway.
Hey, hold on. So one of the reasons I mentioned that is that Mark is from Adroit Theory, and Mark has told me that one of the things he'd like to do is a beer with you guys.
I would like to do a beer with you guys.
Yeah, they're right on here.
What's up?
So-
You guys strike me as men that like to drink beer. We do. And you like drinking extreme beer because you like to play extreme music?
Yeah, our six still kicked. We got to swap it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Dan Wilfer from Anthrax, SOD.
Yeah, just so you know, we were just interrupted by Dan Loker from Anthrax, Stormtroopers of Death, Nuclear Assault.
Old school shaving cream.
So we got interrupted, but nevertheless, in all honesty, Mark was saying that tonight, that if there was a band he wanted to do a collaboration beer with, it would be you guys. And yeah, so that's kind of a cool thing. And I think that means that you'll probably be talking to him later. So first off, you guys played a killer set tonight. I actually saw you at MDF as well a couple years ago, and the guys did too as well.
That was my second show ever that I ever played with Horrendous.
Well, and I had the good fortune to talk to you last night, and one of the things I heard was that you have a new record possibly in the can. So let's talk about that a little bit. Anybody wants to say anything about it?
Yeah, we've been recording a new record basically over the past year, and I'm currently wrapping up the mix for it. I do all the audio production and recording for the band as well. So yeah.
So you do all of the. Did you record it like at your house?
Yeah, I've always done recording out of my parents' basement ever since our demo days. So we've been using the same studio since then. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: were you surprised to be invited to this event? And you should not have been, but I'm still wondering. That was Will.
Why does he still have the freaking mic?
Hey, back the fuck off! No, I'm serious. You're young guys.
Album of the year, what was it, 2 years ago?
2015?
Yeah.
2015 was the Decibel album of the year.
So it's kind of you guys, Alex, you tell us.
Well,
no shit, like, yeah.
No, but what I mean is you guys are young and you're out here, and like we're all old. And we love what you're doing. So I think that's I guess what I'm wondering is, how are you liking the reception to what you guys are doing?
One thing to remember is that we were, in all further respect, we were a fill-in. Full of Hell was on the festival before we were, and they had some complications. So we were invited after them. I hope they're doing well. They fucking rock. But these guys can talk about it. Decibel has been really supportive of us. So in some ways, it's not a surprise, but an honor.
Well, just to clarify, though, rightfully so, you were invited. That's not how I made it.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, since our early days, like Decibel's always been very supportive, and yeah, just like inviting us to play shows and hooking us up with people and interviews and everything. So yeah, it's been an honor.
Jamie,
I think getting more at your question. So I think you were talking about how you guys, you're like, oh, we're older guys, whatever. It's cool. Yeah. So.
You know what? Here, I'll do one better. You're on a bill with Carcass, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So it is obviously we grew up listening to Carcass. You can probably guess that, and which is insane to be. Yeah. We talked to Bill Steer last night, which is insane. We kind of like made fools of ourselves, but we got a picture with him, which was cool. But no, it's having people that are like have been in metal so long, that care about what we're doing, because we are, we haven't been around that long. It does mean a lot. It's not just like hipsters who are jumping on the trend who think we're cool. It's like people that actually listen to metal and live metal think what we're doing is worthwhile, and that does mean a lot.
Yeah, and I think I've found and really loved this when I have found it out that whenever we do talk to someone who's a fan of our music, it seems that they really understand what we're trying to do, and it's not a surface liking of the band. It's like people are really in with all the details, all of the sounds we're kind of drawing from, and I think that has been really special, just knowing that people are getting it, if that makes sense, and people feel the same way that we do about it. So
they do, and I'll tell you this, because our listeners can't see you, but we're wearing a Judas Priest Screaming for Vengeance t-shirt. We got a Thin Lizzy Johnny the Fox t-shirt, which is obscure and great, by the way. I love it. We got a Morbid Angel Altars of Madness t-shirt, and we got a Merciful Fate Melissa t-shirt. So and by the way, that almost is exactly the mathematical formulation that equals Horrendous. It really does. It really does. John, you were going to say.
You know what? You're talking about old and young fans. For us old farts here at the show, you guys have a ton of fun on stage, but you're not dicking around. You're bringing it. But at the same time, there's smiles. You're having a good time. And I think Jay and I were saying this earlier, like, we're having fun watching you guys have fun.
Oh, yeah.
But it's still fucking metal, man. And for those of us who start to make the AA apart, it's a joke. The ARP scene, Some of us are turning 50 in 5 days. No, it's good to see that it continues. That we can enjoy people now, in our umpteen number of years, to see younger bands still having a great time. So. We saw you guys at Death Fest a couple of years ago. We loved it. And we had a great time in the fucking shit-ass heat. And now we got to enjoy it in the nice comfort of tonight. So for us, it's great to see you guys having a good time and bringing it at the same time. So
I will say this, I'm directing this right at you. Fuck, I love you, Alex. But when we all saw Alex play, like, you just were the happiest dude ever on stage. And when I met you last year at Decibel Fest, I said that, like, dude, you were like the happiest guy on stage. What I've noticed is you're a little more intense now.
Well,
you're less happy, but you're still happy.
Yeah.
But like, you show it in a different
so
way.
To put it again, I know I mentioned this earlier. That was
but I love it. Don't change it. But
and you're
go
still
ahead.
bringing it on top.
Yeah, no, just. But go
I'm
ahead.
glad you think so. So that was my, to put it in context with these guys, right? That's MDF, one of the biggest metal festivals in the country.
Absolutely.
That was my second show with Horrendous.
Yeah.
I had wanted to play progressive death metal, whatever you want to call it, since I was a kid and didn't have any musicians who were interested in the kind of creative stuff that they were interested in, not just playing metal just for the sake of metal, but wanting to do something above and beyond with it, right? So here I am at MDF, like a fest that I didn't even get to attend as a kid, getting to play, with like all these crazy bands. So
With thousands of people
tons of
watching
people. And I met Matt in a coffee shop randomly, serendipitously one day, and I ended up meeting all these guys who are now some of my best friends, and I love them so much. So it's like, we're playing death metal and we're trying to bring the most intense shit we can, but it's like, these are some of the best people on the planet I know, so I can't help but be excited about that.
Can you
Well,
stop?
let's talk about that a little bit.
You can't stop. smiling.
So, well,
let me see your war face.
so but let's talk about that. How did we find each other, guys? Seriously, are you all from the kind of same area, or anybody who wishes to elaborate?
He and I are actually brothers, so that's that connection.
Now that you say it, I see it.
So we were in the same house.
You got better hair though.
And don't look at the top of my head.
There's a point where you got to jump off the bus, or it's the Michael Bolton train. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I'll let these two take it. I'll let you take it away for how these two met.
So, well, you do it. You guys.
You do it like Tinder. It's
it's
Tinder.
Yeah. So
Grindr?
Yeah, Jamie and I met on Grindr. We were living in the same dorm in college. Actually, we went to the University of South Carolina, and yeah, we were living in the same dorm. Just like we were walking to like an honors, some sort of.
It was like this was, freshman year. They bring the freshmen in a week before everyone else to like get you acclimated, so you're not freaking out. We were
You know why they do that? So you'll know where to hide.
Probably, yeah. We were walking to some like freshman reading event that and I just saw him and he had like. Yeah, it's a different kind of school.
That's what they do now.
It's an alternative.
Things are a little different now.
Yeah, so we're walking to this event, and I just saw he had long hair, and I think he had some kind of. I don't even know if he had a metal shirt. He had long hair, and I was like, I bet that dude likes metal. This is literally the first day we were there. I just walked up. I was like, hey, what's up? And now we're here. Matt.
We said the same thing about Jay. But he's a really big nose. I bet he loves it.
Yeah, that guy's got. Yeah, thank you for that. For what it's worth, when I came here, I came on the train from the airport, and I was like, I could pick out all the guys coming to Decibel. So I really, yeah.
That's funny because that hasn't changed. It hasn't changed from 30 years ago when I was going to shows to now. Right off the bat, you're like, that dude is going to the show. I know for a fact he is, and I'll probably drink with that guy in about 20 minutes.
But for what it's worth, with you guys, it equals. Honestly, something pretty special. Like we don't. There's a lot of great death metal stuff out there right now, but we got really excited about what you guys are doing, and I know other people have been too. So
You guys got invited here for a reason.
I would say that we got invited here for a reason. You guys, and by the way, again, killer set tonight. You guys fucking killed it. I don't know. How did you feel? By the way, do you guys feel confident? You get any stage fright when you go out in front of a crowd like this?
We had some technical difficulties, which was annoying, and we actually haven't played in quite some time live. It's been like a year, I think, right? So we had
9 months.
The Decibel tour last year, actually.
I saw you guys here in Philly at the. Yeah, no. The
TLA?
The TLA when you play with Creator at
You
the
were there? Did I see you?
I was there. Yes, I was there.
Yeah, I was there.
I was
Long
there.
story short,
You
I
didn't
was
see
there.
me, but I was there.
You don't remember, but
Yeah, I was gone.
No, I was totally.
It was
there.
long. That was the last
Yeah,
day
it
of the
was
tour, so we
Creator,
were.
It was you guys, Creator, and Domin. Who? Blood Feast.
Oh, they
up.
opened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Old friends of mine actually.
Yes, but Blood Feast opened up, but they didn't announce the time, so they opened up, and I was not there in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I caught you guys. I caught Creator, and
Got it.
So not to, but so you mentioned technical difficulties. I did not notice. So what was it that you guys were experiencing up there that was not optimal?
I seem to be the one who's cursed with technical difficulties. Just the effects loop on the amp wasn't working. So I ended up having to plug in direct and couldn't use my tuner or delay
No
pedal.
effects
and-
pedals.
Yeah.
Did you just bring your guitars tonight, and you're just using amps that were here?
Just brought guitar. We were using backline. They provided amps and cabs.
What's that like? I'll tell you, I play in a band myself, in all honesty, and I want to know how weird and scary is that to step up onto a thing when you are probably pretty picky about your tone. And then you come up and all of a sudden you're plugging into something. You might even be like, what the fuck? So talk about that a little bit.
It's tricky sometimes. This time, though, it was fine because the backline was the same amp that I normally use, the PV5150, so it was convenient.
What about what was yours? What were the rest of you guys using? Which, by the way, you used an SG. What are the pickups in that thing?
I just have a JB, the Seymour Duncan JB.
God, those things fucking rule, dude. Good for you. All right, right on. But what was? I am, and I just got a guitar with a JB in it, and I cannot say enough how much I like that pickup. But what was your backline? What were you using in the amp?
It was a 65. What the hell is it called? 6505.
So you were both using that. Okay.
Same thing. Pretty much the same as what he was, just newer model, I think, or something.
So fuck all this. Let's get a scoop here and start talking about the new record. Yes. Because as you say, it sounds like you guys have put the last thing on it that you intend to put on it, and now it's about other people getting it sorted out. So can we talk about the new record a little bit? And I think you said you'd finished it fairly recently. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's been a really, really long process. It's taken about a year because again, Damien handles all the recording stuff, and he lives in DC, so we're going down to Damien's house to record. It's all
Damien who?
Damien Horrendous.
Damien lives in DC, not far from you. Well, lives technically in Virginia, right?
Yeah.
But
Where?
it's
Arlington. I live in Arlington.
Arlington. Yeah.
We should hang out.
Will, can I just say we're kind of hanging out right now.
David's like, this is as close as I want to get.
Well, let me ask you this: does the record have a title? And you don't have to give it to us if you don't want to give us a scoop. But does the record have a title?
It's funny. I don't know. Can we talk about the title?
You don't have to. You don't have to. I mean, we're not pushing you.
If you're not comfortable,
The record is called Idol. So it's
IDOL.
IDOL, yeah. So like a figure that you would worship, yes, and idolize, and whatever.
First of all, fucking scoop. No, wait, back off, Will. Scoop on the Metalheads podcast. The new Horrendous album is called Idol. So back the fuck
I'm just
up.
trying to figure out are you worshiping the Jewish zombie astronaut?
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
That's a question for Matt.
Jesus.
So it's called Idol, and say a little bit more about it. Like, I mean, what do you feel like it is in reference to the last one? You taking a step forward? Where are we at?
It's definitely more complex, and at the same time, I think more aggressive overall. I'd say just.
My first reaction: how the fuck is it going to be more complex?
Yeah, that last one is pretty complex. Good point.
I don't know how we did it, but we did, and it's actually quite a big step up in that level. And it's still what I've always loved about our band is that we don't really cross into like tech death territory. It's more just complex arrangements, and the arrangements are pretty insane on this.
You know what? I'll even take that track for you a little bit and just say that I think what you do is it's not tech death by a long shot. It's death. There's a little old school in it, and so there's the Screaming for Vengeance thing kind of going on there, and you guys do some really complicated riffing and stuff, but it never gets in the tech death thing. It's more old school. It's old school tech death, for lack of a better way of putting it.
I got to say it to Matt before you guys were here, and I want to tell all of you is I'm from Connecticut, so like us being our age, it was Celtic Frost out of my area, but then our big thing is Hatebreed, and I knew Chris Beatty, the bass player, since I was 10 years old. My scene in Connecticut has pretty much simmered and or looking pretty shitty these days. And I told Matt, and I'm going to tell all you guys, us being our age and you being, so much younger, if you will, and for me to hear what you guys are doing and catching and capturing that fucking sound, it's just badass. And being your age, it is. I look, instead of, you got people maybe that might knock you like, these fucking kids or whatever the fuck. I'm telling you that I love seeing shit like that, and you guys are kicking ass, and I'm fucking happy about it.
So actually, I'll say that, you know what it is? It's a vibe. You guys are capturing this vibe, and that's what's really working for you. So, and I can't say that enough. You are talking to older guys here, and we grew up with metal and all that kind of thing, and somehow you capture every one of your T-shirts that you're wearing today, which is wonderful. So, when can we look to hear something from the new record?
I'm not sure when we're going to do a preview track, but I guess the goal is for it to come out in like late August, September.
I think
early September,
like fall.
So we're talking 2018. Yeah.
This year. What label you guys on?
So we recently signed to Season of Mist.
Wonderful. Great. Yeah, Season of Mist. Good. Very nice.
Yeah, all right.
Yep.
So we just need to follow. I mean, I think we all follow Season of Mist right now. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Incidentally, I just ordered. I just ordered your vinyl, and it came to me, and I think it must have been mailed by one of you guys because I ordered it from Bandcamp. Yeah. I wish I had bought it so I could have got it signed, but yeah, I figured because it came really quickly and packed very nicely, I might add.
We don't always ship out things that quickly, so you got lucky.
It was there in like a week, dude. Like you nailed me.
That's rare. That's good for us because we've been, especially this last year, it's been. Recording has taken so much time that we've just so behind on sending out merch and stuff. So people have been patient with us, which is nice. So.
Well, you satisfied customers here. So
if you ever want to play DC area, I've talked and I messaged you guys.
Yeah, we want to play Atlas.
Play Atlas.
Yeah, Atlas.
It would be a
Maybe
ridiculous
when the new record
honor.
comes out, we can
Yes,
play
when it comes out, whatever. You guys ever want to play Atlas? Hit me up. I mean, Alex knows how me. Just. Please.
I think it's a matter of time.
It's
a matter of time.
It's bound to happen.
We already, even Hassan was like, I'm getting you guys there.
Hassan.
So, yeah.
You know Hassan?
Hassan.
Perfect. All right, look at that.
Hassan is my boy. Who does not know?
Let's call that full circle. You know what? I don't want to take any more of you guys' time, but I say with sincerity that on our podcast, and we'll post it up soon, we'll hashtag you on it so you can find it. We're all fans of the band. So looking forward to the record, guys. And you guys played a great set tonight. Short of Carcass and one or two other things that we came here that we just can't wait for. This is probably one of the best sets of this fucking weekend. So,
I'll say that.
Yeah, nice job, guys. And you fucking were flawless. So yeah, thank you guys very much, and keep it going.
Thanks, Jay. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. It is 12:27 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, site of the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest, and also the Metalheads podcast. Reporting, I'm sitting here on the couch in our hotel in the lobby with my cohorts,
John,
Will, and Luch.
The Luch. Luch can explain himself, so you will see him in some photos on our Facebook page. So we're just checking in to say how we think it's going so far and how we expect it to go from this point forward. So I'll just start with a question for everybody and say, who have you liked most so far? What set was your favorite set thus far? And that could include pre-show too.
Oh, well then if it includes pre-show, Necrot and Power Mad. Pre-show, Friday night.
And you don't want to call anything else from last night?
There was a show last night?
Yep, that's exactly how that went for Will. Pictures will be coming. John, what about you?
So for me, I had two that I enjoyed. I really enjoyed Horrendous. First of all, we have a chance to hang out with those guys a couple times and got to do so last night again. Very cool kids. Kids, I can say, because I felt really old around them. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed the Paul Bear set quite a bit because, as Will said, all the material, I've seen them once before, but all the material new sounds so much better live, and I thought they did a great job. And honestly, one last one, I didn't care about Monster Magnet. I saw them last night and thought they were awesome. I thought that was a great set. Luch and I hung out in the back and watched them, and they just cranked it for whatever, an hour they played. So that was my big thing.
Well, that warms my heart, and agreed, Horrendous was great, and we had a nice conversation with Brett from Paul Bear after, which we did not record, but we'll try to follow up today and record that. Luch, what stood out for you?
I will say the same thing. Power Mad, definitely. Necrot, I had never seen them, and they're awesome. Last night, for me, definitely Paul Bear. and John beat me to it. But Monster Magnet, as long as they've been around, nothing against them. I just really never got into them, and especially for that dude's age, killer set. Action. He was all over the place, and it was awesome. And they definitely impressed me. I gotta tell you that.
I think he's 60.
That's definitely impressed me big time. Good set.
For myself, I have seen Necrot multiple times before, but they killed it last night, or the night before last, like they always do. For me, Monster Magnet first, just because they're close to my heart. But Horrendous and Paul Bear definitely both killed it last night. I have to say, I'm going to go on the record right now and say I expect really high things from the next Horrendous record. I think I'm guessing it's going to be a lister.
Yeah, they're recording it now, I think.
They just finished, they handed it over to the label.
That's right.
They said. But let's talk about beer, too. So that's a little harder because the memory gets hazy the more you try. But we had a lot of good stuff. I'll just say that we started out with, there was tickets for a limited supply of the Dark Lord. So we made a beeline to that beer. First thing, Luch scored some extra tickets, so I guess we'll be hitting it up again today. Yeah. But, let's start with Will on this one because he's the brewer. What were some of your standouts yesterday, Will? Beers.
I would say that definitely the Dark Lord. And I think we know a guy now, so we may be able to get some extra pours. Yeah, we were just hanging out in the hotel room with Todd Hogg, who is now the director of operations at Three Floyds. So,
but also
guitarist and power man, obviously, formerly of Surly. I really liked the Personal Coma, which was Adroit Theory's collaboration brew with Dan Lilleker, who we hung out with yesterday for several hours, just sitting here. We're sitting on the couch in the Sheraton, and we just basically we camp out here, and because half the bands and brewers are staying at our hotel, so we just sort of play host to everybody who comes in. And yesterday we started around 11 o'clock in the morning and basically had a beer share for several hours, including, so who was here? So Dan Lilleker.
Bill Still from Carcass stopped by. Repulsion stopped by. They just walked out the door, by the way, from where we're sitting now. The At the Gates guys swung through. We really there was a lot of people swinging in and out of our party last night. And Dan, we just had the nicest laid-back time with. I thought we were all joking around, having a good time.
So we're sitting on the couch again, doing our post-mortem in the hope that we will run into people as they come in and out. Like Chris Moore, the drummer for Repulsion, who's a friend of mine, does all the sound at Atlas. He just swung through, said hi. So it's been kind of fun, and so
I know. I feel like we're at Ground Zero.
Yeah. And I feel like we're the hosts at Ground Zero.
I kind of do too.
Yeah.
I think people are going to remember us from this one. What did you try yesterday, John, that stuck out to you? Anything in particular? Beers.
Well, starting at noon.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to just focus on fest beers because we have to say the Luch came up and brought basically a safety deposit box full of very valuable and good beers. But please.
Yeah, Luch, thank you again for all that. He just brought us a shit ton of beers. I think my favorite was I never had Lawson's Sip of Sunshine, and that's the first one I had. Never had it, and I'm actually having it again right now. So there were just so many. I mean, I'll say the same thing. The chemtrail mix from the Dark Lord, just like everyone, I liked because I didn't think we'd ever get a chance to try something like that. But by the time we got over there, I wasn't, 3 sheets to the wind, but it seemed to blur. Yeah. It went by so fast once we got in there. So
you were 2 sheets to the wind, so
maybe.
Yeah, Will was 5.
Yeah, we were at DEF CON 5 last night.
Well, but I agree. The Sip of Sunshine, by the way, was one of my great discoveries personally for the weekend, even though that's a non-fest beer. That is a Luch beer.
And then the green beer, Luch, that you brought.
Oh, yeah, that was nice.
Treehouse. Treehouse Brewing in Monson, Massachusetts. Treehouse Brewing, Monson, Massachusetts. Check it out. Everything is good.
Well, while we're on you, Luch, what did you try yesterday at the fest that you liked? And I'll just slip in real quick and say the Dark Lord really was great. I feel like I'm the only one who felt like he got hit in the face by a coconut, but maybe my taste buds are different. But it was good. I'm not being hard on it. I'm just saying that was the dominant.
Nuts in your face.
I like nuts in my face.
Thanks. That might have been someone else's coconut.
No, you guys, you make a good point. When you have as many balls in your face as I do, you okay?
Were you wearing your scarf then? Did you have your scarf on when you got hit with that coconut?
I will get a picture. I'll tell you what. You can't see me, and I'm not wearing it now, but I've been wearing an Oakland A's scarf, and I've taken more shit for this scarf, and now I feel more and more connected to this scarf. So I'm going to, I might wear it tonight wrapped around my head like a turban, but because that makes me so much more metal than everybody else. Luch, what did you try yesterday that you loved?
So I don't even have to say about the Dark Lord. That's right up my alley. Dark, boozy, nasty. I always say as black as my soul. That's what I like. So I'll go with that. Believe it or not, I had never had Headhunter IPA from Fatheads, believe it or not. That's a non-fest beer, but that was really good to me. And then back to the fest, Adroit Theory, and actually you remember the name of it, I don't, but there goes.
Illusion of Safety.
Yeah, Illusion of Safety. That's not my style whatsoever. There's been a small handful of those I can drink, and this thing was just incredible. It's one that I could actually sit and drink as much as possible. It was really good.
It's a sort of hot orange mango based goes. And I thought it was kind of a hit with everybody, to be honest with you. I thought everybody dug it in our little group here. So, but suffice to say, I got a text from a friend this morning who is one of my Untapped friends, and he asked me how it is that we're still alive. I did admit to him that they're 3-ounce tasting cups, but I don't think mine was empty until about 10 o'clock.
Yeah, definitely not. I think I had to throw the towel in around, I would say, 10-ish. I think I was done for the day, but looking forward to another whole full day of it today.
So let's just get some overall opinions about the fest, and I'll start by saying I think we all agree that the Fillmore is a pretty damn nice place to have it. There's a lot of room to kind of move your arms and legs around. I was never a line. There was no beer I wanted to try where I felt like I got to stand in line for more than 2 people. There was also a little press area, and even though there wasn't many people up there getting interviewed, we were able to go up there and steal some water and just sit there and be quiet for a minute, which we enjoyed. So organizationally and all that, what do you think, John?
Yeah, it's even better than last year when we came. It's weird to be upstairs without any big major event going on, because George and I had, by accident, walked in on the Dave Mustaine Unibrew presser up there, and his signing. Other than that, everything's been great. There's plenty of room to walk around. The only issue that I have when I go to an event with beer is that after you've gotten your beer, to please step out of the way for those of us who are waiting to get a beer. You don't then hang out and, not Grumpy John, just move so we can get the beer.
Can I also say, too, that they are actually holding pretty tight to their time schedule as far as bands getting up and down, which was really cool, which also, by the way, I think implies there's probably a curfew at the Fillmore, maybe at midnight or 1 o'clock curfew. Any comments about the organization of the fest and whatnot in general, Will?
I mean, I think they do a phenomenal job, and what I like is that the Fillmore is, like John said, it's a big enough venue that you don't feel at any time during any set you can walk right up to the front of the stage because there's so much room that no one's standing on top of each other. I mean, it's really, it's done well.
Case in point, dude, in the middle, first couple songs of Paul Bearer, we walked right up to the front.
Yeah, I mean, it's you just literally to the front row.
And that's probably one of the more popular bands of the evening. Luch, any comments on the organization of the thing overall, just the fest as an overall idea?
What I noticed, just for me, I'm not from around here or anything, so just the way they have it is you got some pretty, in both metal and beer, you got some pretty big celebrity people in this thing, and just there's no egos, man. Everyone is just as cool as everybody else. They walk, you can talk to anybody. Just like you said, you can walk right up to the front of the stage, just very relaxed setting, and you got some great music out there. You got some great beer out there.
Totally chill. It is. I couldn't agree more. None of us has really hit the merch very hard. I didn't, but I think that's because we're going to try to hit Vinyl Altar today if time allows. I don't know. John got one of the Beer Fest T-shirts, which was a low price of $15 or $17 or something.
I think it was $17. That's for a double X. That's really cheap. I'll take one.
You know, the only thing I bought was the Decibel Volume 2 Hall of Fame book, hardcover, $30 price, and they were selling them for $15, man. So I'm probably going to pick up the other 2 books and the beer book.
Do you have Choosing Death?
I don't have Choosing Death, but they are selling it. And they do have the beer book, so I'll probably pick up the beer book. Come over and say hi, man. Oh, hold on. We've got a visitor. I just want to show him that I'm wearing a goat horse shirt, too, because he's wearing a goat horse shirt. All right. Brothers in arms, introduce yourself, man. We're doing our pod right now.
Oh, hey. How you doing? I'm Alex.
You got to be more specific than that. Alex, what brings you to the fest?
Newspaper boy, what the hell?
Yeah, actually, how did you know I'm a newspaper boy? That's actually what I do.
You're here with somebody, though, right? You're not just here as a guest? Yeah.
Yeah, a buddy of mine is this guy James, who works for Decibel, and he and I go way back. And he offered to bring me down on the company dime. So
nice. Yeah, Decibel crowd, cool. Well, we were actually just being very, laudatory of Decibel because they put together a good fest. It's organized. They were nice to give us press credentials. So, yeah, it's been a good time. And we've run into this guy a couple of times, so it was worth getting your voice on here. Is there any comments anybody wants to make, break, drop, whatever?
I feel like where we're sitting right now in the center of this, on the couch of the hotel room, is sort of like the best way to describe it. It is the parking lot at Edison lot during Death Fest. We sit here. And like yesterday, we talked to Power Mad for Joel from Power Mad for like an hour.
Yeah, at least an hour. Yeah.
We spent about 3 hours with Dan.
Yeah. And Dan, I mean, it's just like it seems like, and we had just had beer bottles and pizza and like.
I wish we had taken a picture of it at its worst, because at its worst, we cleared off the table sitting right in front of me, and it was covered with pizzas and beers. And by the way, can I just say, Dan was a good housemaid. Every 30 or 40 minutes, Dan got up and picked up every empty can he could just to be a good citizen.
Yeah. It was. I mean, I just feel like this is like. It's a fun place to just hang out here, and like we said, just everyone kind of walks in, walks out, and we're sort of like, I feel like we're the hosts. We're like the welcome wagon.
I'll say this: I think there's a lot of people walking through. They're gonna be like, "Hey, it's those guys." At this point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also,
still there? Do they have a room at this hotel? They sleep on the couch. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's true. We're really taking over this. It's just the 4 of us sitting here now, but people are coming and going, and yeah, we've had a great time, man. And I guess you must have known this when you booked, but this is the hotel where the bands really stay, most of them.
Actually, no. I think it was just John's idea to stay here.
John wanted his Sheridan points.
Yeah.
Actually, I had way back when I say Zip, but you know him as Will. When he told me that we were coming down here, I said, all right, well, I'll get the room, seeing as you're going to, get the tickets and everything. I'll get the room. And he goes, well, actually, John has a place already kind of that he wants to go. So if you're going to get a room, this is the place to go. And I booked it right there. And I'll tell you what, it's a nice place, man. It really is. So.
And it's, by the way, conveniently located. We are doing an Uber ride down to the show, but it's a short Uber ride. And
do you want to honestly know what my reason for this place was?
Yes.
It's really simple. When Will and I leave tomorrow morning, it literally is, we go down 1 block, make a left, 1 block onto Columbus, and we're on to 95, and there's no downtown Monday morning traffic.
But to be honest with you, that also might be why a lot of the bands with Decibel probably pick something convenient for everybody, and it certainly has turned out to be that.
Columbus Boulevard literally is just a block and a half from here, and that's why we took our Uber ride straight down that to the venue. What is it, 5 minutes we were in the car? Yeah. Coming back was a little longer because we did some cobblestone driving, but the guy did a good job. So, hey, so before we head to the end of this, what is everyone looking forward to today? I mean, we haven't talked about the bands for today.
Well, let's start with you.
Well, I got it here. So, my looks, definitely Summerlands, just because we got to talk with them before. Their opening band. It may be kind of interesting. Spectral Voice, because I want to see the Blood Incantation guys. And then obviously, Carcass. I mean, I'll watch everybody. I know that you guys want to see some other bands, but I thought I'd just throw it out real quick since we're heading that way.
Well, the microphone's coming close to me first, so I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, but I'm just going to say Incantation and Carcass, and I think I can just say Will and the Looch agree with me.
Yep.
Yeah, though you guys may have some other ones you want to pull out of that.
For me, Repulsion, definitely, but Incantation, big time, and I really want to see them live. So, and everyone wants to see Carcass.
Everyone wants to see Carcass. And I will just say this, on one of our recent pods, we interviewed Chuck from the Metal Podcast, and he had noted how people were sort of in awe of Carcass, and we found that to be true here too. I mean, we approached them and just said hi, and it was like no big deal. But all the other bands are like, well, you know what? The guy from Repulsion said to me, I said, hey, can we get an interview later? And this would be the guitar player. What's his name, Will? Matt. And I said to Matt, I said, I said, well, maybe we'll do an interview with you later. And he goes, hey, of course, man. He said, there's no rock stars here except Carcass. Cool. Well, maybe we'll wrap it up there. We're going to meet with the author of an oft-mentioned book on this podcast. And so, therefore, this is actually one of the more relevant interviews of the weekend. And we're talking about the Brewtal
Truth Guide to Extreme Beers.
Brewtal Truth Guide to Extreme Beers, but I forget the author's name.
Adem Tepedelen.
And we're going to interview Adam. And if you listen to this podcast at all, you've heard this book mentioned many, many times. So that's something we're looking forward to. And then probably maybe hit a record store, and shortly thereafter we'll be going down to the venue and drinking. So we'll just wrap it up now, but we'll be checking back in later. And I cannot say enough. We would recommend this festival to anybody in earshot who's willing to get on an airplane or get in a car or a bus if you live in town and come down and check it out, man. It's one of the better fests you can do. All right, checking it out. Check back in soon.
All right, so we're back. We're now in the hotel room. We were literally just recording a couple minutes ago downstairs in the lobby, but we are joined by the author of the Bible. Decibel Magazine presents the Brewtal Truth Guide to Extreme Beer. We are here with Adem Tepedelen. How you doing, Adam?
I'm good, thanks. Nice room.
Okay. It implies that your room is not that nice.
We went the Airbnb route, so it's a house. Yeah, it's an old Philly row house. So yeah.
But that's actually pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's different, yeah.
Let me ask you this: is it haunted?
It makes a lot of weird noises. I'm not sure what the source of these are. I just chalked it up to old house in Philadelphia, but who knows? Might be haunted.
Let me tell you this: it's haunted.
I might be able to clarify. We're in a newer place, and there's a lot of weird sounds coming out of here too. So
yeah, but to be fair, we had a pretty meaty pizza last night, so that could be
fair enough.
Anyway,
so Adam, today you're signing books and you're selling books. Yes. Where are you doing that? What are you doing at the Wayfinder table?
Yeah, so Wayfinder graciously paired up with me to do a Brewtal Truth beer specifically for the festival. And we were originally going to do an ice bock. That was the original idea, sort of a dark ice bock. But it didn't ice the way it was supposed to. Basically, it just didn't distill. So instead of having a 9 or 10% ice bock, German ice bock, we ended up with a very well lagered 7.7% Doppelbock, which is delicious, malty, and smooth. If hoppy beers are not your thing, this is the beer for you. It's really good. So yeah, I'm going to be at the Wayfinder booth this evening, probably around 7ish or something like that, which is probably a moot point on this podcast, but who knows? It doesn't matter. But I will be pouring the beer, signing some books, which will be for sale there. So yeah, I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to pair with Wayfinder, who are getting a lot of acclaim in Portland. As a city that's known for having lots of breweries, Wayfinder's actually kind of standing out. Their brewer, Kevin, brews lagers and German-style beers impeccably. The guy is just on point, and that's kind of what they're specializing in.
Yeah, the one thing as a brewer, the one thing that I always tell people is that, yeah, it's easy to make like all these New England-style IPAs. It's kind of cheating. They're kind of easy. You can hide a lot of flaws. If you can make a good German-style Pilsner, a lager. There's no overly hops. There's not a ton of hops. There's not a ton of malt that you can hide anything in. You have to be a very, very good brewer to pull that off. And so I judge a brewery that if they make a Pilsner, how good is their Pilsner or their lager or whatever, because you can't hide any flaws.
Yeah, they also brought a Helles Pils, which is outstanding. I don't know if you guys tried that, but it's another super shining example of how clean and how well he does those styles. Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's hard to do.
So how did you link up with Wayfinder? How'd that work out?
Well, a couple years ago now, when I heard that Matt Jacobson of Relapse Records was getting into the beer business,
I immediately was interested. So I did a Brewtal Truth column on Wayfinder. Unfortunately, it ended up coming out months before they actually opened because their proposed opening didn't coincide with their actual opening. But nonetheless,
soft opening then.
Yeah, I soft opened it for them. But I got to know Matt that way, and so last summer when I was in Portland, I got to visit the brewery in person, and Matt graciously met up with me, and we had a great time hanging out. He's lived in Portland now for 10 years, even though Relapse is still based here in Philadelphia area. Excuse me. And now Matt doesn't just do Relapse. He has some a local chain of pizza places, Sizzle Pie.
Barnaby was telling us about Sizzle Pie.
Yeah, and the pizzas have great names. I can't think of any offhand, but they're all metal named basically.
Yeah, he was essentially telling us about like stickers of like a pizza being crucified in a pentagram or something like that.
Yeah, it's a cool place. So yeah, Matt has those, several of those, and now he's got Wayfinder. So he's doing a lot of different things in Portland, and yeah, great guy. And Wayfinder makes great beers. It's a beautiful location in Portland as well. It's in this industrial district where there are some other breweries nearby, but it has this amazing patio that kind of overlooks the Willamette River there. So it's a great place to hang out in the summertime. And it's kind of like a beer hall feel on the inside. So it kind of fits the German lager theme. So yeah, I just, when I knew that they were coming to the festival, I just thought they would be a great partner to do a beer with, mostly because I kind of had a rapport with them. And they were super keen to do it, super interested in doing it. So we just kind of hashed it out over email, and here it is.
Awesome.
I just want to take two steps back because we really do talk about your book a lot on the podcast. It comes up because we mix beer in with our pod. So we talk about metal and beer. And oftentimes we refer to the book. And so I think it would be cool for our listeners if you would talk a little bit about yourself. Like, where are you from? How did you write the book? Is there volume 2 coming? So on and so forth. But a little prayer hands from Will. But let's just talk about you for a minute, and specifically, like, how did you get into the book? How did you end up writing the book? What is your background? I mean, were you brewing? So on and so forth.
Well, I've never done any brewing myself or anything. My interest in craft beer just is, purely personal interest. I've been a writer for a very long time, and so if you're a writer, you inevitably write what you know about and what you're interested in. And so I had written a little bit about craft beer in the 2000s, but I started writing for this magazine out of Portland called Imbibe. That was just sort of a general drinks magazine, and like one of the second or third stories I did for them won a journalism award that I got at the Great American Beer Festival in 2008. So it kind of pointed me in the direction of craft beer writing, because at that point I had like a journalism award I could flash to people and say, hey, do you want me to write about beer for you? So I was writing at Decibel writing for Decibel at the time, and I think I probably pitched some beer metal related thing back then. I'm not sure what my pitch was, but somehow between Albert Mudrian, the editor, and myself, we came up with the idea of doing a beer column in Decibel, which seemed kind of crazy at the time, but if he wanted to let me do that, I was not going to argue with him. And I didn't really have the idea that originally was just to do write about beer in a metal magazine. I wasn't really concerned about connecting the dots, as it were. I was just interested in kind of having fun with it and figuring that most readers aren't necessarily craft beer drinkers, and that I can kind of help them get there and do it in a sort of like, irreverent way. I'll put it that way. So started doing that, and after about 4 years of doing it, it seemed like there was interest in it. People seemed to like the column. And I started building connections and stuff like that. And I realized there were a lot of breweries that had metalheads working there, and there were a lot of metal musicians that were super into craft beer. And I started focusing in on that a little bit more. And because Decibel's tagline at the time was extremely extreme, very sort of snarky kind of Decibel kind of thing, I thought it'd be funny to do an extreme beer book, because extreme beers were a thing in the sense, and this is probably about 2011 or 2012, people were calling certain types of beers extreme beers, a lot of beers that
Boston has a whole extreme beer fest.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not sure if this predates that. It may have been around the same time. It hasn't been their festival hasn't been around for that long, but also, you know, a lot of the Dogfish Head beers and you know, there were sort of like what people would have maybe called whales back then, these crazy big beers that were released in small quantities.
As in white whales, as in hard to snag beers.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, the extreme beers were kind of a thing, and so I decided to like combine this sort of idea of extremely extreme decibel with extreme beers. So I had the idea of doing an extreme beer guide, and because I had 4 years of columns behind me, I was able to get a publisher to sort of go, okay, well, he's legit, he can write, you know, seems like there's an audience, and I found a publisher to work with. And Decibel I wanted Decibel's name on there because I thought it would help lend credence to it. And they could help promote it as well. So that's why it ended up being, instead of just like my guide to extreme beer, I wanted it to be the Brewtal Truth guide to extreme beer. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Can we talk about the pairings? I want to know what your process is. Like, because I think we all that's one of the things we enjoy about the book.
Well, it's okay. So the one thing I didn't mention is this book was meant to be not a typically geeky craft beer book.
A little tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I wanted it to be fun, for lack of a better word. I wanted it to be a little bit irreverent. I wanted it to be unusual, and so it's pretty funny because some people have actually gotten aggravated with my pairings or mad about my pairings.
I remember you telling us about this last year.
Yeah, and but I appreciate that because it means they sort of took them seriously, quote unquote.
What that means is they tested them. They were like, okay, I'm going to put fucking on now, and what? I'm not having a good time.
I'll take it one step further. You probably have it because just reading the book to start, right?
Yeah.
I was getting out there, so.
Yeah.
But we digress.
Well, anyway, the idea is meant to be fun. And so it was intuitive. Sometimes the pairings were jokes, literally. You know, I just thought it would be funny with this beer name, with that, you know, that song title or that band name or something like that. And the one I mentioned last time was pairing the Rogue Maple Bacon beer with
the Voodoo.
Yeah, with Pig Destroyer, which greatly aggrieved Scott Hull. He did not like that because he hates that beer, and fair enough. But I just thought it was a funny joke. So there were some that were like that.
We had that conversation. Yeah, because we talked to Scott last year, right after we talked to you.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's meant to be fun. It's intuitive. It's not, you know, you might enjoy. You may or may not enjoy them in the same way that I did. But I mostly just really wanted to have fun with it. I didn't really think that people would literally be doing this, like pairing the beer with the music. It's awesome if you do. I totally appreciate that. But it was more like a funny thing to read in the book.
Yeah. No, relevant. What are you drinking right now? What's out there right now that you're excited about?
Well, so this is something of a hard question because I can tell you it's mostly just like local regional beers that I enjoy.
And you're up in British Columbia.
I'm in British Columbia, yeah. But I do get exposed to other beers, mostly West Coast beers, not too much from outside the West Coast. But, you know, I have my favorites certainly in the Northwest. The shout out I would give to BC Breweries is a little brewery it's a brew pub actually in Vancouver called Brass Neck, which you can only get their beer at the brewery. They don't keg it and put it anywhere else in town.
What's the name of the brewer?
Conrad Gnoser.
Okay.
He used to work
I have a friend I went to brewing school with, Chris Lukey.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know him?
Yeah, he works now for Swans. Chris is a really good
Swans.
brewer.
Yeah, Swans. Yeah, I
He's
went to
in
brewing school with
Victoria.
him. Yeah.
Okay.
I knew he was up there. But,
yeah, he works for Swans, and Chris is doing a really good job. He used to work for Lighthouse. Basically, everywhere Chris has worked, he's done really good beer, and I like that. The unfortunate thing is, I don't immediately think of Swans as, sorry, Chris, a good source of beer because of past. But
so he stepped it up a notch when he got there.
Yeah, doing great stuff. I really like everything he does, and he did this great beer. I don't know if he was with Swans. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was with Swans last summer. He did this great beer called Lucifudge, and he used the Lucifuge Danzig logo.
Fucking cool, dude.
And it was like a delicious chocolate porter of some sort. Just amazing, really good. But I just love the fact that it was.
That's cool that you know him. That's awesome.
What's
Yeah.
some of the West Coast stuff you're talking about?
Well, I'm really partial to in Seattle, Holy Mountain, who were here last year. Man, they do everything so well. They tend to focus on mixed fermentation. Yeah, lots of saisons. They do a lot of.
They remind me a lot of True.
They do. It was weird because I actually was with the True guys a few years ago when they met the Holy Mountain guys at Holy Mountain, and the Holy Mountain guys gave them a tour of the brewery, and it was like you could just see them going, oh my god, where it's like they're brothers of a different mother. They're doing so much the same stuff. They're into metal, roughly the same age, doing things the same way. And so yeah, Holy Mountain I love. Also they're doing their mixed fermentation kind of stuff. But another brewery in Seattle that I really like is Fremont, and I kind of resisted drinking their beers because their packaging just looks so generic to me. And then I had their...
Is it like a white can that says beer?
Slightly more interesting than that, but it just, there was something about the look that didn't speak to me. And
it was funny. My wife went to Seattle a couple years ago, and she brought back some Fremont beer, and she's like, they said this is really super famous. I'm like, it was good, but yeah, same thing. It was like, it looks kind of dumb, but good beer.
They do hoppy beers really well. They have these double IPAs. One's called the Brother and one's called the Sister, and they're really vague about like what hops they use, and they're like none of your business or whatever, something like that on the can. But one time when I was buying, I wanted to buy, this is a few years ago, the Stone Enjoy Buy beer, and the guy at the beer store is like, we're sold out of that, but you'll like this better, and he points me toward the Fremont Brother or Sister, and he was absolutely right. And partly because it was just fresher. It was from Fremont, not Southern California, but it was a really good beer.
I do some of the Stone and Joy buys when I see them. There's a place by me that unfortunately sells them after the fact, after the date sometimes. But now, can we kind of ask again a volume 2? Do you think you're going to do a volume 2?
And by the way, I harass Adam about this constantly on Twitter and stuff, so...
Yeah, you're not the only one. I've been harassed by other people. So I have my...
I like and retweet every harassment.
I have my spiel down. It's a long story, but a number of things kind of happened shortly after my book was published. One, my book didn't sell like gangbusters, like I think the publisher had hoped. But
who do I need to kill?
Let's call it a slow burn.
More that... my agent, who's no longer my agent, was not impressed by my sales, and so every subsequent beer book I pitched to her, she was like pass. So I said pass to her, and the other thing that happened is that my publisher, about 6 months after I published my book, or they published my book, was bought by a larger publisher, like one of the 10 largest publishers in the U.S., and they basically folded my publisher because it was like an imprint of another publisher.
So how many people lost their jobs from this book? How many livers were destroyed?
Wait a minute, I never put the connection together. It's weird that happened right after my book was published. But my editor, in fact, did lose his job, and I think that Lions Press doesn't really exist anymore as a publisher. So I lost my advocate, my editor is my advocate. So any possibility for a volume 2, I would kind of have to start from scratch. New agent, new publisher. And the problem is this, getting back to the slow sales, is that anyone looking at, what's the viability of doing a second one would go, first one didn't sell that great, so I think we'll pass. So
I know I've been personally responsible for at least probably 10 of these books being sold.
I have something to say about that. You are the cannibal corpse of this of publishing, and I mean that. It took Cannibal Corpse 10 years to sell a million records. I gotta believe with the fests and the stuff that you at least have a variety of a steady sales thing. So, but in any case, please.
Yeah, I think so. The unfortunate fact is that the book is now 4+ years old, and it is starting to get dated a little bit because of the beers in there. A lot of the beers, well, not a lot, but I think there are a number of beers, a good percentage of beers that are just no longer available.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. The packaging changes also. So, I mean, it's still as a thing. I think it's still interesting to people. I think it's still, it has a little bit of kitschiness to it, or not kitschiness, but you know, it's an unusual book. So I think there's some stuff that's still evergreen in it, but some of the beers in there are
Let's change it from kitsch to niche.
Yeah. So speaking of which, a case in point. So what are we drinking right now? Luch.
This is 668, the neighbor of the beast from New England Brewing Company, which is about 10 minutes down the road from me. This was featured in the book, and then not even, I would say, within the last, 6, 7, 8 months, they are not canning it anymore. They're not even really making it. They have now turned it into a one-off. Every now and again, when we feel like brewing it, we'll do it. So I was hoping I'd be able to get some, and it went on about a month ago, and then it was gone. So I was like, well, that's going to be too old. And then they just put it on Thursday night. So I grabbed 2 growlers, and I made it here for the weekend. It's a Belgian Golden. It's really good.
Yep.
It's one of their better beers. I don't know why they decided to make the change they did, but at least I was able to get it for the weekend. So
yeah, and that's kind of what you were getting at, Adam, is like this. So this is literally one of my favorite beers from the book. I mean, I used to harass Luch all the time. Send me more. Huh. And it's so delicious. I love the old artwork. Was this kitschy old dude like standing in his front yard, and like Satan is his neighbor, you know? And but they're not making it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, case in point. I mean, well, we're drinking it now, but I mean, but talk about it, since you guys are the more educated too. Talk about it a little bit, because, like, to me, this is this reminds me of vaguely the Aussie beer that you gave me from DC one time, which
now called Beasley.
And so talk about the character of this a little bit, because I enjoy this. To me, I'll tell you something. The weirdest thing about that, the Beasley and this one and the other bills of this style, there's this weird little Christmas peppermint thing I get out of it. Like, you remember those pink peppermint things?
It's the yeast.
And I really enjoy that. But talk about the character of this beer a little bit, since we're geeking out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you pretty much nailed it. The yeast, obviously, the Belgian yeasts produce all kinds of exciting flavors in these kinds of beers. And what's interesting with this style is that they're using very pale, light malts, so that you really get that yeast to shine through. There's not really much in the way of malt flavor kind of interfering. And do they use candy sugar in this, do you know?
I think they do, yeah.
Yeah. So that helps kind of boost the fruitiness and the
yeah. There's lots of esters going on, a lot of fruity esters going on, which is byproduct of the yeast, the fermentation, the yeast reproduction, and that spicy peppery note you get is also from the yeast.
But here's the weird thing: as an I don't have the palate that you guys. Well, I don't have the knowledge that you guys have. Even though you say that it's a yeasty thing that I'm experiencing here, it's funny because the overall, and forget about beer malts, it has a malty feel to me, like a chocolate malt to me. Like there's just a little bit of sweetness. I kid you not, and that's not.
No, that's just you being uneducated.
Hey, Will, I took the scarf off. Back the
Put the scarf back on.
No.
You're way smarter with that scarf on.
Well, I did good with the peppermint thing, so let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
The one thing I was going to say also is it's fairly high in alcohol. So sometimes when you get 8 or 9% beer and above, you do get this like spice burn or whatever from the alcohol as well. So in the combination of things, you could perceive it as that.
Look at Adam trying to make me feel comfortable.
Yeah. Now you have your scarf on. You're so much more intelligent.
Can I just say too? Now, so I am probably the only one in the room who doesn't own the book, and I admit that. But also, I feel like it's great that I've saved my moment, because Adam will be signing the books tonight, so I'm gonna stop by and I will bring a copy to get signed. I kind of want to just reiterate again that this book is a big part of this podcast.
Oh, it is. We mention it, I think, on every podcast. Yeah.
Just about every episode.
Because we're always drinking a beer that's still from the book.
Yeah, I think we constantly keep coming back to them all the time.
Yeah, we do. I mean, because you picked out some really phenomenal beers, like this one, 668, which is
it's tasting.
And this is from a growler, so I misspoke earlier when I said they weren't brewing it anymore. They're not canning it anymore. They're not packaging it anymore.
I was going to say just real quick, what makes this book kind of unique now is that you do have a section on Belgians, which seem to have gone by the wayside, at least in the U.S. There's only a few makers of it.
It's kind of happening again, though, right now, isn't it?
There's a few places. I mean, obviously, Omegang gets all the knowledge, but there's a few breweries. But everything's like we were talking about. It's got to be a double IPA. It's got to be a big-ass stout.
Big, juicy New England IPAs.
Here's the thing. I keep coming back to these all the time.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
You know, like Wild Heaven, I don't know if you're familiar with them down near Atlanta. They have that.
Oh, you brought some back from Prague Power. They were delicious.
Yeah, I brought a bunch, but they have a quad. I love quads.
Yeah, I love quads.
It doesn't matter where I am. It could be 4,000 degrees out. I'll take 2, please. You know, I mean, because I really cut my teeth on Belgians first when I started drinking. So
yeah, I still go back to every now and again, just like there's a 7-Eleven near my new house that has a very good craft beer selection, and sometimes I'm like, Golden Monkey from Victory. I like that beer. I'm going to pick that up.
I like that the 7-Eleven's doing the crafty by you, because that doesn't happen by me, because the 7-Elevens are all in the bad part of town. Yeah. But
they are here
too.
It's funny because by my old house, which was not in the best part of town, it was like Colt 45, it was Hurricane and Steel Reserve and like
Steel Reserve. That's the one.
It was the brown bag 7-Eleven.
Adam, how are you enjoying the fest so far? Because I will just tell you, we all have a pretty high opinion of this fest. I feel like it's really well organized, so on and so forth. So how are you enjoying it, and what are you looking forward to? Are there any bands that you've had a chance to watch that you really enjoyed?
Yeah, I think it's been great so far, and I think that the Decibel team are pros at this point by putting on good tours and festivals and that, and they really showed that last year with their first Decibel Metal and Beer Fest.
I mean, as a first-year fest, it was like flawless.
Exactly.
It was insane.
It was.
Alex kicked some ass, didn't she?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Alex Yard is amazing.
Yeah.
And they upped their game with the cups this year. Thank you.
Yes. Well, it's funny because we bitched about that last year, and when I talked to Albert, he was like, "Yeah, I know the cups. Yeah, I know."
What's funny is, people were yesterday busting his chops about the new cups. They're like, "Yeah, I was at this other beer festival, and they actually have these hard plastic cups. Why did you have?" Yeah. I think it actually might have been Albert's wife busting his chops, but it was somebody. But
it was fine though. They were fine.
Yeah.
It was worked perfectly.
But case in point, I kept my cup all night. Where the last festival was like I had 10 different cups.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think it's going great. And I think.
You like the music that you like?
Yeah. For this year, there were about 5 bands that were sort of on my must-see list. At the Gates, Monster Magnet were 2 of them yesterday. And then today, Repulsion, Carcass, and Mayhem. So those were all the bands I've never seen. I will also admit that other than Monster Magnet, I'm not the biggest fan of those bands, but I feel like I want to see them, and I feel like I should see them.
Yeah, you have to give me a chance to bond on the Monster Magnet thing, because I'm a huge Monster Magnet guy, so it's hard for me not to hug you right now. And by the way, I thought they had a killer set last night.
Yeah.
Dave looks good, lost the weight. I don't know, for those of you who don't know, Dave ballooned up a couple years ago. He was a couple hundred pounds, and he's back down to his weight. Not that matters, but anyway, it was a killer set, I thought. Do you have the new record?
I do, but I have a download of it because I get promos. So yes, of course I have that. Yeah. Absolutely.
You digging it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, in my opinion, they can do no wrong. He would have to really do something way off base to produce a Monster Magnet album that I don't like.
Would it be cool if I could just ask the rest of the people in this room to leave the room now so Adam and I can spend some time together? Yeah, I will say this. We tried to score Dave on an interview last night, but I talked to Christina, who's doing press for the fest, and she was like, she even said, she goes, you know what? He can be temperamental, and he just doesn't want to do interviews tonight. And he'd already lined one up with that other group in there. So we didn't get to do it, but I still thought it was a great set. So I'm glad to hear you enjoyed it, man. That's awesome.
It was very cool because I've been a fan for a very long time. And actually, about 6 months ago, I got to interview all the guys that were on the Spine of God album for Hall of Fame for Decibel magazine. So that was really cool too, because I actually, although I only spoke to 2 of them. I spoke to Dave and I believe the bass player on that album. But 2 of them opted to just do email interviews. But it was a kind of a coup to get John McMahon involved, because apparently he had been not that interested in it, in doing that. But Tim Cronin kind of looped him in. I think kind of gave him a nudge, and I think that helped. And it was pretty interesting because there's a lot of animosity between McBain and the rest of the guys. And I don't know if it exists today, but certainly during that era, they were not happy campers. And so it made for a very interesting story as far as the creation of that album goes, because the other thing is that they weren't really like a band in the traditional sense around that time when it was recorded. They were it was odd because the genesis of Monster Magnet kind of came from these different outfits that were sort of playing around at the same time. They were going through different names, Windorf would play with them a little while, and he would do he had his own little thing kind of going on. So this coalescing into an actual debut album, I know that they had recorded an EP with Tim Cronin doing most of the vocals, and they'd had some singles, but this album was really pretty cool in the creation, and then it kind of just fell apart, and that was it. That was sort of the only accurate document of the song version of that band, because there's Tab 25, which is just like the improvised version of that band, which is interesting to listen to, but this was like the only iteration of the songs, and hearing them talk about I've digressed way off beer here, but
this is exactly what we want.
Hearing them talk about the recording of this was fascinating also, because they were in this suburban studio. On the album it says like recorded at Spawn Ranch or whatever, which obviously it wasn't. Yeah. So they were literally in a suburban studio called like Subterranean, somewhere in New Jersey, and the process was so sort of indicative of this odd separation between the different members of the band. Whereas the rhythm section just kind of came in there and laid down the rhythm tracks, and they are done. Then McBain and Windorf kind of made it good in a way. They added all the crazy layers and just made it into this mind fuck, and at the expense, unfortunately, of the rhythm section, because you can hardly hear drums and bass on that, but you hear all this crazy stuff, and obviously Windorf's songs are really good, but. So
do not apologize for the digression, because this is the kind of this great inside track stuff, and I'm a huge fan, as already mentioned in this. I just bought volume 2 of the Hall of Fame last night, so I haven't read that. But which was in volume 1, or is it?
No, it was in one of the issues. Maybe
one of the issues. Okay.
6 months ago, you can find it online. I'm sure it's for sale online. Yeah.
But I do want to say, I honestly think he's one of the kind of geniuses working right now, and I mean that. I think Dave is really a special guy, and I get it. For people who don't get it, that's fine. I understand. So no, that's super insightful, man. It's great. Can I just ask you one more question about that, which is, got a couple of favorite Monster Magnet albums?
Well, certainly that one is, and then. Okay, I'm gonna blank on the name. The one with the big Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Dopes to Infinity.
Yeah, exactly. That's been my favorite album for a long time.
And I think that's in the Hall of. That's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Both those two.
Much deserved.
Yeah, and I think there's even potential arguments to be made for others, but I certainly think that those two kind of represented the two. Significant sides of the band in a way, psychedelic and also the more mainstream kind of song oriented. What I've always appreciated about Monster Magnet is, a couple things. There was a period sort of after, kind of like the mid 90s when they sort of hit their stride, where basically every kind of stoner desert rock band kind of sounded like Monster Magnet. They were sort of became the source, which I think is fantastic. And the other thing I really appreciate is, it seems to be primarily Dave's love of sort of 60s garage rock, which I also really love. And
Stooges and MC5, man.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to interview him. I thought he would have loved talking to me. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So I love all that stuff too. But
huge Stooges fan, a huge MC5 fan. Well, I would put my personal kind of like. There's some late era stuff that's really good. I think Four Way Diablo is like a really good autobiographical record. I think all of his stuff is autobiographical. Yeah. So, and it's just nice to talk to a fan. It's nice to talk to a guy who's kind of been on the inside mix. And it's cool that you were involved in one of the Hall of Fame, interviews for sure. So I think that's highly relevant. We don't have to just talk about beer. This is what you do. So
well, and you'll be happy to know that later on tonight, Jay will be bringing by an Oakland a scarf for you, since you guys are such fans of Fu Manchu.
I've become famous for this scarf.
So
Fuck
that's
off.
That's his thank you.
we had Todd Hogg up here from Three Floyds and Power Mad, and it's like he knew Jay forever. He was just busting Jay's balls about this scarf.
Well, and the funny thing is,
your time okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the funny thing is that he'll remember Jay the most.
He will. And how could you not? So, well, I honestly think we want to be respectful of your time, so we're going to wrap it up with a couple. The loot you got? Okay.
Yeah, let's have some of that.
Yeah, let's do some of that. So, you know what? Talk about what we're going to have. We got one more drink we're going to have together.
Well, a little surprise for the crew. Also featured in the Bible is Sam Adams' Utopias. It was 2012, which was the 10th anniversary, is what you had featured in the book. So I brought the 2017, which I just purchased in December. And so 29%, awesome. And I have that for all of us guys here today.
Nice, thank
Well,
you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Is there anything, and I'm going to kind of just think, let's wrap it up so be respectful of Adam's time and
letting him enjoy this drink.
Let him enjoy his drink. But we're really grateful you spent the time with us. Is there any last-minute questions anybody wants to throw in, or?
I think we appreciate you stopping by again this year. I know Will and I have been talking with you for ages, and we were happy to meet you last year. Now it's almost like, well, when are we getting together when we see him this year? And hopefully we can do it again at some point.
I would like to call this out as one of the highlights of the fest for us, because I say again, we talk about Iron Maiden all the time. We talk about Judas Priest all the time, and Carcass and Slayer. But we talk about your book all the time. So this is a kind of a cool moment for us that we can, and our listeners know about you. Very cool.
We're not just talking about the book.
We're using the book.
We're drinking the book.
We're drinking so it was nice of you. It was super nice of you to spend time with us, and I'm going to at least pass it over to Will here just for final comments because he's the brew head, and here we go.
My one last, if you can't find a publisher, there's this magazine that you work for. Maybe they could just do a special issue of just, they came out with the Napalm Death, the Napalm Death issue, the Best Tours issue.
Actually, who publishes the rest of their books? Are they just? They do. So there you go.
Yeah, and
I know a guy. His name's Albert.
Yeah. I mean, I floated that idea to them, but I'd say that their publishing arm is in flux right now. And that's not to say that it's not going to continue to go forward, but I would say that would be maybe the best possibility going forward. I haven't had any specific discussions with him about that, but I could probably be persuasive in helping him to make that happen. Anyway, I also want to say thank you guys for having me on here again. It's always my pleasure. I love the fact that you talk about my book all the time.
Oh, yeah,
and
it's insane.
It's very flattering, and I'm glad to count you guys all as friends. And and it's nice that we get together at least once a year to drink some beer.
Yeah.
So cheers.
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 Cheers. That's the perfect way to end this.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Just clank.
I really don't want to lose that beer, so let's take it easy on the clanks.
Okay, so we are back in the hotel room. I know.
Yeah,
Well, no, I think
the whole interview.
we got George.
G-Mills.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Slow down.
What? George Bush?
George Cougar Bush.
George Cougar Bush.
That was Jonas from At the Gates. We are back in our hotel room. It's me, the Luch, the John, the Will, but we are joined with Jonas, who just took a trip to Vinyl Altar with us. They played last night and played a killer set, and we're just glad to have you with us, buddy. How's the fest been going for you so far?
It's been a lot of fun. I was really looking forward to this fest because it's beer and it's metal. So
Beer and it's metal.
Yeah.
So that stated, I hope you've had the chance to try some good beers.
Yeah, I've had. I'm gonna try some more today. I didn't try it that much yesterday because I was playing, but yeah.
So you guys did play last night. You were headlining last night. They closed the show last night. And for what it's worth, we've been trying to feed you some beer today. So we've given you some yes, we've given you some East Coast stuff today.
Before you go any further, explain how we met Jonas today. Explain how we were sitting in the lobby drinking.
Oh yeah, we've been hanging out in the lobby, and Jonas came by, and we offered him a beer, and he said yes, he would like to have one.
And next thing you know, we're at Vintage.
You commented on
Vinyl
my
Altar.
"Don't break the oath" tattoo.
That's right, Jonas. You know what? I apologize. That's true. Jonas has a "Don't Break the Oath" tattoo on his right arm.
Yeah. Merciful fate.
It's a very nice black outline of the album cover without the color, but I think that's classy, which means he understands what good things are. So, Jonas, how long have you been with At the Gates?
Almost a year now. So.
Almost a year, but you told me in the car on the way to Vinyl Altar that you are playing in 5 projects right now. Is that correct?
Well, it's not. It's 5 bands.
5? Well, name them all.
Name them all. God Macabre, The Lurking Fear, Bombs of Hades, and Cripple Black Phoenix.
And At the Gates.
Yeah, and At the Gates. Yeah.
At the Gates.
All
right.
Last but not least.
Last but absolutely not least.
The guy that came up to you earlier, did he know all 5 of them?
No, probably not Cripple Black Phoenix, though, because that's not a metal band, but...
Okay. What did he call you out on, though? Because I love that. I mean, you know, we all have our sections of metal knowledge, and that guy was kind of hyped to see you, and so he was sort of like, so what were the ones in particular that hit you up about it?
He talked about Abath, which was actually my first proper band that I formed 30 years ago. And then Utumno, which actually, that band, when we were active, we did a few shows with At the Gates. Like in 91, 92. So.
Is that, let's see, what year did Slaughter the Soul come out?
What I think about?
No, what year did it come out? Do you remember?
95, I think it was.
Okay, so you were playing with At the Gates pre-Slaughter of the Soul.
Yeah, not in the band, but I was playing.
No. I mean, your band was playing with that. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah. Which, by the way, so you are currently residing in Stockholm. Yeah. And is that where At the Gates presides right now?
No. I mean, we're kind of spread out. The only guy who still lives in Gothenburg is Martin, the other guitar player. Yeah. And Jonas, the bass player, lives
the
other Jonas. Yeah. We call it his Jonas 1 and I'm Jonas 2 because
for me you'll always be Jonas 1.
Yeah. We're born the same year, but he's like I think 2-3 months older than me. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
How are you? You've been to the States before.
Yeah.
But how are you enjoying your trip? Is this your first time to spend time in Philadelphia?
Yeah, first time in Philadelphia. I spent one night in New York when I got here on Thursday just to go and see Painted Doll, which is Chris Reifert's like new 70s kind of power pop rock band.
Painted Dolls that George likes? Is that Painted Dolls?
No, it's not the George thing. Yeah.
Just had their first album out, which is great, by the way. So I'm just kind of pushing them now. Everyone should check them out. You know, if you like stuff like Blois the Cult and stuff, there.
Push it. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Everybody wants to say something.
There's a Blois the Cult reference. I'm in.
Yeah. Oh, do you? Is it on the other arm?
Yeah. It's actually in the empty card on the Samhain tattoo. So I left that empty just to put the Blue Eyes the Cult in there. So.
Oh, nice, dude. Fucking dude.
Where'd you stay when you on Thursday? I was in New York City on Thursday too.
Yeah. Where I was in Brooklyn. So yeah, and they played with Monster Magnet. So it's nice seeing them on Thursday and yesterday because they played right before us.
Cool. So. Are you? What do you think of Monster Magnet?
I love Monster Magnet.
I love Monster Magnet
from the get go, you know, because I was really into a lot of the sub pop glitter house records, already in like 89, 90. So when they released the first EP, I thought it was great, you know, because I already liked like Mudhoney and stuff like that, which is kind of Stooges kind of thing. And they're more, I mean, Monster Magnet were more like acid, like really psychedelic, weird, but still heavy as hell and like dirty. Yeah, that's why I liked it. You know, a lot of us like in the death metal scene got into that stuff because it was so like dirty and like noisy and stuff like that.
It makes you think Detroit is probably the greatest place in the world, first and foremost, because that's where both the Stooges and the MC5 come from. Yeah, we had a brief conversation about this earlier, and that I have to tell you that makes me really happy. And by the way, the Stooges, that first record kind of covers that dirty and psychedelic thing because of that like second song on there. You know the one I'm talking about, the kind of Indian chant. Well, that's great, man. Like, so what was your introduction to the Stooges? It was just some record you ran into?
Well, I mean, I've heard Iggy Pop. I mean, that's because, and I think I actually got into Stooges reading in something about David Bowie because I was so much into the early Bowie stuff, and then I kind of like found out that he produced Raw Power, and then oh fuck, I need to check this out, you know.
But I think he produced Raw Power in the sense that he was doing a lot of cocaine and he was down the street produced Raw Power. But I mean,
there's the Bowie mix and then there's the other mix because they weren't really happy with Bowie's mix, so.
Did you get there's a very good documentary I would like to suggest to you if you haven't seen it, which is Jim Jarmusch, who's an American.
Yeah, about the Stooges, yeah.
You watched it? Yeah. It's great, right? I mean, yeah. So, and there's a great, they retell Raw Power and how it happened and everything and how it happened. So, that's cool, man. Well, good. Glad
and I want to say, you're the second person who's mentioned we've interviewed today that's a Monster Magnet fan. So, the prize for being a Monster Magnet fan is you will get an Oakland A's scarf.
Shut the fuck up. You know, first of all.
Everyone's going to go back to Sweden. Everyone's going, what the fuck is that?
And you know what you'll tell them? You'll be like, Monster fucking Magnet, dude. That's what it is. So for those of you listening to the show, I've taken a lot of shit about the scarf that I'm wearing all weekend, but it makes me more metal than everybody.
Oh, you're beyond metal.
But but it has warmed my heart, by the way, that we've talked to a lot of people who like Monster Magnet and so on and so forth. So, but how was it that you got pulled into At the Gates?
Well, I've known the guys since we were teenagers, and the kind of guitar player they wanted when Anders left was like someone who was from the old school and knew what the band was about, and also like not like a total metal guy, you know, totally understands other kinds of music. And since I play with Adrian and Thomas in the Lurking Fear too, so it's like us three are already playing together. So it's that didn't come as a surprise when they asked me actually. So
okay. Well, you had mentioned that.
Well, it took you long. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned that earlier to me that Lurking Fear is almost at the gates in a weird sort of way. I mean, there's that many people in it, but
it's not more raw. Like it's more like Autopsy kind of early Morbid Angel. I mean, I'm talking Mike Browning, Morbid Angel, Abominations of Desolation, that kind of old Incubus and stuff like that. You know.
Did you get a chance to watch anybody else last night, or was it you really just had to concentrate on your set?
I saw some of Integrity, not really my bag, you know. So and I saw some of Paul Bear. I've seen them a couple of times. Nice guys. And,
super nice guys, by the way. Yeah, we had a real nice conversation. So I guess which then would bring us to tonight, which is we're all going to go over the venue in a little while. I know you're going to go eat with your bandmates, but after that, you're going to get to watch the show. Who are you looking forward to tonight?
Mostly Repulsion, but also Carcass. I mean, I'm good friends with Scott and Matt, so it's always great to see them. And they're always been a huge influence. I mean, when Repulsion came out, it just blew everyone's mind.
Yeah, it's like that weird punk death, crossover.
It influenced the Swedish scene so much, you know. It's like I like the blast beats that Dave Brave did was more punkish. It's not. I really don't like the modern blast beats because I think it's like it's too polished.
It's too clean.
Yeah. I like the old stuff, which is more chaotic, you know.
Well, you know what? Here's what comes to mind. I apologize, Will. I'm going to sneak you in, but here's what comes to mind. And I know you're an older music fan, which, by the way, Jonas has 3,000 vinyl albums, and we're all vinyl fans on the podcast.
He went to the vinyl altar. He's the only person who didn't buy anything.
And that's because basically, his home is bigger than the store. But to talk about the blast beats, there's a difference. And here's how I would define the good blast beats. And this is not a blast beat. Where we go back to Zeppelin 3, where you can hear the squeak on the pedal. You know what I'm talking about? And that's what it is. It's the clickety clackety, a little bit off count sometimes. Yeah. So. And you do know the squeak I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Of course you do. But you were going to say, Will.
No, I was going to say that my friend Chris, who I've known Chris for about a year now, and so at my brewery at Atlas, we have all these heavy metal shows, and this guy Chris just always shows up and does the sound. And it wasn't until like a few weeks ago that like I figured out like, oh, Chris, who does the sound, is a drummer in Repulsion. Like, I'm like, wait, why did you not tell me this?
But can I also just say that that's a comment on how small the world is, because you're friends with the guys in Repulsion. Will is friends with the guys in Repulsion. And so it's just
yesterday for like an hour.
Yeah, and you know Matt is one of your friends. Yeah, he's a good guy. Great guy. Yeah. And which, by the way, one of the things we identified today in the car is that Matt looks like the drummer, and I forget his name, from Voivod.
Away.
Away, but what is his actual name? We actually reached out to him to do the artwork for our podcast.
Fuck it, his real name. It's.
I love this. This is like trivia.
I think something.
Are they
I
all?
should know this, but after a few beers, I tend to forget things.
Yep. That's what we do to our guests. So, which incidentally, so they are from the French-speaking part of.
Yeah, they're from Quebec, I think.
Quebec.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been up there?
No, never been to Canada.
Never been, nor have I.
It looks a lot like the United States.
I actually have a funny story about the French part of Canada.
Okay. Funny story. French part of Canada.
So my other band, Bombs of Hades, we played a squat festival in Berlin a couple of years back, and we played with Necrowetch, which is a French band, and they came to the airport at the same time as us. We shared the shuttle, and our other guitar player was trying to break the ice because he noticed the French accent when they were playing. When they were talking, and he kind of like said, "Oh, so you're from the French, the Canadian part of France."
The Canadian part of France.
It wasn't a joke, He wasn't taking about it. He was just saying that. Yeah. It's like, and everyone just burst into laughter. It's like, what the fuck did you just say, man?
You just turned the world on its axis.
So you're from the Canadian part of France.
That's awesome, dude. So now
one of my best friends is French Canadian, and I just bust. But yes, exactly.
Yeah, Canadian French. Get it right, Will. So
I bust his balls all the time.
So we, so one of the things, Jonas actually accompanied us on a trip to as Will just noted, a nice vinyl store here, largely metal, a couple other things. But we know you're a vinyl collector. With 3,000 in your stock, I can't imagine there's too many holy grails waiting out there for you. But is there anything that you're like?
There's a lot of holy grails.
Well, tell me a couple.
A couple? Well,
and go as long as you want.
It's always like shitloads of Vertical Swirl albums. I only have I think I have 30 of them. Yeah. I mean, there's still some of them that are fucking too expensive. Still, like Dr. Zed and stuff like that.
Are you on Discogs, by the way?
Well, I'm on Discogs, but I don't really put my vinyls on there.
How could you? I mean, if you got 3,000, dude, it's just like I need 4 weeks to do this. But
it's a funny story about Discogs because the twins from Niflheim, Eric and Pelle, the Tyrant and Necrobutcher.
Wait a second. That I just have to stop and kind of recognize that pronunciation. Say it again.
What?
Niflheim?
Niflheim, yeah.
Pronounce it now, Will.
Niflheim.
Oh. I wanted you to do it the Will way, but that's fine. Anyway, you were saying.
There's a way.
Nephilim. Yeah. But anyway, I apologize. I interrupted. You were saying that they're on.
Yeah, they just discovered Discogs, and I mean they're the biggest fucking Iron Maiden fans in the whole fucking world. Every time they tour Europe, they go to every show. And they call Steve Harris. They don't say "Oh my God," they say "Oh my Steve."
That's pretty fucking cool, dude.
And they celebrate. I mean, I was hanging at. Eric is always at Jonas, the other Jonas 1.
Jonas 1, the other Jonas 1 as in the number.
Yeah, and he lives in the same little village that Jonas is.
Back in the village. Maiden thing. Funny. Haha.
And he always eats lunch at their place. He comes there. He's always there when we rehearse and stuff. He always shows up. He's a great guy, And his twin brother is great too, but they always talk shit about each other. Which is really funny, Doesn't matter which one you hang out with. They always say the same thing about each other, Anyway, back to the story. They had discovered Discogs, and my girlfriend, she's a good friend with Pelle, and she went over to his house, and there was just records everywhere on the floor, because he was like, I have to get all my records on Discogs, It's like, he's got a lot of records too, It's like, I mean, I tried to put all my records in there, but I kind of got bored with it. It's
I mean, you're sort of bragging to no one first, and so you know,
I already know what records say. I mean, I used to be when I was younger, it was I think I'm gonna impress with people with my record collection.
Well, first and foremost, I'm the one guy, because what I mean is there's a few things that you told me already that you had the original issues of. As a matter of fact, one of the things I picked up today was Venom's Possessed record. You have the fucking original issue, of course, and a bunch of other stuff, I'm sure. Which, incidentally, I'm wondering if these fellas have the Iron Maiden. It's no, not Soundhouse, but that's a good one. It's called Invaders Over Manhattan.
Yeah, they probably have it. Yeah,
I'm sure they do.
They got like fucking like tour shirts unused from like 81 or stuff.
Then forget I even said that because
they have stuff in like a safe that's like so rare with Maiden.
That's awesome, dude. Actually, that's really cool. That these buddies from his other band,
Nephilim brothers.
Okay, yeah. The twins, as it were,
yeah.
on Discogs. So okay, again, so now we are at day 2. I would like to know how you found the organization of this festival, because I don't want to lead you into your answer except to say that we found it pretty well organized and stuff. So how's it been for you?
It's been very good. You know, and Adrian from Decibel is a great guy. Yeah. No, Adrian, I say. It's Albert. Fucking
But Adrian's nice too, whoever he is.
Yeah. That's our drummer. Yeah, he's a nice guy. What the fuck did I call him? It's Albert. Yeah, I know. Albert's a great guy, and I mean, we've been so happy with everything here. So,
is this? Have you had previous association with Decibel in any way, shape? I know.
Well, I've known Albert, but this is actually the first time I met him. Okay. But I mean, we've been talking on Facebook and stuff. So I always thought of him as a nice guy, and I mean. Decibel is an American magazine, so I mean we have it in Sweden, but I really don't buy magazines anymore. But because I mean,
who does?
Yeah.
Because
but it's still great. It's still around, you know. Because I prefer magazines though over online stuff, you know.
Yeah, so. Well, for what it's worth,
worship whenever my Decibel magazine physically comes in the mail. I worship it. Like it's like. I love having. I brought 2 copies with me to catch up on and stuff. Like I love the physical art, not the artwork, the physical copy of it. Like I want it. The what?
Let's get
what?
Wait. What? Let's get. Well, no. I totally appreciate that too, and I understand what you're saying. When I used.
Let's get.
Sorry. Really? We're gonna do singing? No. You know, when I used to, all the times that I've gone to Europe. Though it's changed now in the last few years, but I used to go, and one of the things I would love to go to a train station and get on the train, and I would buy the latest copy of Metal Hammer or whatever it was. So it has changed. It has. Which, by the way, is Decibel printed in English or Swedish out by you?
Oh, it's English.
It's in English, yeah.
So. Good question. Do they publish it or reprint it in any other languages?
I don't think they do.
It may be that we could ask that to Albert tonight, but if it's in English, I mean, everybody in Europe speaks English because.
Except the Germans and the French.
Except the Germans and the French.
Especially the French, you know, it's like...
Yeah, they're like, fuck you.
When I played Hellfest last year in France, I was like, I was just sitting, because it was so fucking hot. It was scorching. And the only, like, shade you can get in the VIP area was around the fence.
Or the light pole.
Yeah. So I was just sitting in the shade having a beer, and these 2 dudes just sat next to me, and they started talking. And I saw them rolling up a joint, so I just looked over at them and said, "Oh, the Doobie Brothers, yeah." And they were like, "Finally, someone who speaks English." You know?
Oh, really? Because I thought they were gonna be like, "Fuck you."
They were brothers. I don't remember their names right now. Really cool dudes. I hope they don't hear this, because
for what it's worth, no, they won't hear this. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. They're fucking great dudes, you know. So I ended up like smoking weed with them and just hanging out. We just hung out because I was there the whole weekend. Yeah. And great guys, and they said nobody fucking speaks English in France, you know. You can you talk to them in English, they answer you back in French. It's like
so. I've been to Paris twice. My first time out there, I was with a woman who was from Quebec, French Canadian, spoke fluent French.
Canadian French.
Right.
Canadian. French Canadian.
Let's get that right.
Right. Yeah, Canadian French. But she would talk to them in French, and they would answer her back in English.
Sure.
Because her French was not proper French.
Oh.
That's her first and one of my best friends in the entire world.
So that's the trick then. You talk to them in Canadian French, and they actually speak in
Well, but see, I've always heard if you make the effort, then they're gonna meet you halfway. But Not so. Well, not in the era of Marie Le Pen. So, with all due respect, I'm dominating the conversation here. Luch, John, Will, is there any questions? I am the dominator. The Marie Le Pen thing. Well, you're in the intelligence community, so is there any questions you guys would like to sneak in here with the man Jonas while we have him? Because I don't want to keep him too long. He's got to go eat with his buddies soon.
Did you have fun with us at Vinyl Altar?
What?
The question was, did you have fun with us at Vinyl Altar?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
There you go.
Because let's be honest, we're sitting on the couches, just drinking beers, and we hooked up, and we're like, "Hey, come with us to Vinyl Altar." Yeah, I'm down. Let's go, and we went.
Actually, to be honest with you, I feel like we could spend a weekend talking because Jonas came up and commented on multiple things that I was looking at, and he understood the certain issues of certain records that have come out and stuff. No, Jonas gets it.
Matrix. You gotta explain the Matrix.
Oh yeah. Well, in
it's actually. I mean, it's called. If you say it properly, it's in Swedish we call it matrice.
Actually, I was gonna say, and in French it's matrice, but okay, fine.
In Canadian French.
Yeah, Canadian French is. Yeah, it's well played.
Le matrice.
Well, you know what? John wants you to tell the story. The Matrix. The Matrix.
Yeah, we could call it the Matrix. Yeah, which is the etched like numbers and stuff
between the label and the actual songs.
Yeah. And you guys didn't know that.
Oh, so do you know? Do you know what? So I just love doing this vinyl bullshit, geeky shit with people, and this one's too easy. But do you know on the original Led Zeppelin 3?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Do what thou wilt.
Do what thou wilt. That's the original release of Led Zeppelin 3 has "Do What Thou Wilt" on the Matrix in there. Though I'm trying to remember. I'll have to check.
That'll be the whole of the law.
Is it on the other side?
Yeah.
Oh, Jimmy. Jimmy is the man. Well, I've always wondered if and I have the reissues. I've always wondered if the reissues have that on there, and I need to double check mine.
Probably not. I don't really buy reissues unless it's the only time I buy like a new vinyl from a record that's been released before is if it's not been on vinyl before.
Fair enough. Yeah. Let me ask you: do you know? Have you heard the wood glue solution to a poor sounding record?
I've read about it a couple of times, so we never really discussed it with anyone.
Wait with me. It's a real thing. So what you do is you take and you put this like a hole. You take a record.
I've seen it on YouTube when they do it. Also,
it's a real thing. I tried it,
but I've never tried it myself.
Well, it really works. I have a say again.
When in Rome.
When in Rome, or when in French or French Canada. The so I have a ZZ Top DeGuello. Are you a ZZ Top fan?
Yeah.
Everybody is. Yeah. So I have a DeGuello, and it's like a reissue, which is bullshit, but it had all this black dust in there. So I tried the wood glue thing. So what you do is you take, and I only bring this up because
put it on the turntable, right?
Well, no, yeah, and then you just like pour it on there. And then you got to, if you have a brush or something that helps, and you spread it out, and then it hardens up, and then you peel this off, and it pulls all the crap out between the grooves, and you will have a pristine sounding record.
I have to try that.
I want you to, and I'll tell you this: it's a real thing. It really fucking works. And it's
probably yeah.
I did. My ZZ Top DeGuello album.
I'm gonna have to try it on some record I just gonna.
Something you don't care about.
Yeah. But
get a copy of Kiss Dynasty.
I actually love Dynasty.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
What's your favorite track?
My favorite track on that one is probably.
Sure Know Something.
I'm in. Yeah.
Charisma.
And what's the last song which Ace sings?
Yeah, baby. That's
well, there's Ace sings 2000 and Save Your Love.
I love Dynasty.
Luch, hold on. Luch,
my two favorite Kiss albums are Dressed to Kill and Unmasked.
Fuck! I knew you were gonna say Unmasked. Yeah. Okay, so.
Because I love power pop, I love Cheap Trick, and I love like Big Star and stuff like that.
Jonas, it's hard for me to stay on this side of the room at this point. Let's talk about your favorite tracks on Unmasked, and you might say, is that you? I'm wondering if that's the one you're gonna throw out. Talk to Me, maybe.
It's a good song. I mean, and Talk to Me is kind.
She's So European.
She's Naked City is my favorite.
Naked City.
That's probably the best song that Gene Simmons ever wrote. That one and She. It's like those. But it's at the same time he didn't write it himself.
God damn it, dude. I'm starting to think our heritage is the same. I think you, because honestly, honest to God, dude, Naked City is premier, dude. And by the way, a lot of people don't appreciate that Gene can sing as good as he can sing.
Fucking great singer when he actually like puts an effort to it, and especially when he actually sings like not going like he did for a while,
Now, speaking of Gene Simmons singing, which is just like you said, he could sing well. Now I'm actually in this conversation because when he
wants to, he's a good bass player too.
Witness, and this is the smallest thing, but witness the bass line in Detroit Rock City. It's pretty special.
But Detroit Rock City, the album I'm going to talk about is Destroyer. Yeah. When he does Great Expectations, that's a fucking great song.
That's my favorite song of that album.
Yeah. It's a great fucking song.
And I love Bob Ezrin too, so it's like, and that song is just so, it's kind of pompous.
It's totally.
Totally.
But I love dramatic pompous music,
The way he does it, he nails it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're about to have a real conversation here. So let me ask you this: first of all, do you both of you have Destroyer Resurrected?
No.
Okay. Well, you don't have.
Listen to it though.
It's good. First of all, I'm sorry you don't have it because there's something Bob Ezrin says that he included on the record that he did not include on the original record, and for the life of me, I can't figure out what it is. As a early Kiss fanatic, and I don't know what. There's some sound he put. So that's stated. So okay, I'll leave that out.
It's got.
I mean, like there's one sound.
What's the song? The first song on the B-side.
Flaming Youth.
Flaming Youth. Yeah. Because what's his name? From who used to play with Alice Cooper, and he's dead now. He died a few years ago.
A guitar player?
Yeah.
What's his Dean or not Dean? But what the fuck is his name?
What's it called? His last name is Hunter, right?
Hold on, I'll come up with it, dude. Because you're like, you just got my.
They played with Lou Reed, and they were like those two guitar players. They did a lot of they played on a lot of Bob Ezrin stuff. Yeah. And he ended up playing with Alice Cooper, being like his wingman on after like Welcome to My Nightmare. Yeah. And he played on those great live albums that Lou Reed put out when he played old Velvet Underground stuff. But they were like.
That guy's name, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But in any case.
Yeah, because he did the solo on the album.
There's also
on the resurrected version, it has Ace Frehley's solo
on Sweet Pain.
Yeah, Sweet Pain.
Sweet Pain is the solo. Yeah, there's an alternate solo on Sweet Pain. I wish I could. I have to tell you, I'm a little disappointed you both could not tell me. There's one thing that Bob Ezrin says on Destroyer Resurrected he included that they always wanted to include that they didn't put in.
Yeah, I didn't.
So, okay.
I didn't
No, you guys don't know. That's cool. Please do.
Man,
Please do.
Get a cold one right from the. Okay,
there you go. Yeah.
This one's cold.
That's it. Yeah, those are good ones.
It's not cold gin,
but. You know what?
Oh, you know what? Let's do a little kiss.
Real quick, there's only a little splash of that left, but that's coffee breath from New England as well. If you want to grab that.
So let's do a little kiss talk though, because this is you've already.
This is the reason why I play music. So.
Kiss is the reason why I play music too.
Kiss. I mean, every Swedish guy in my generation who plays in all the death metal bands and all that stuff. Everyone wanted to play music because of Ace Frehley. Everyone wanted to be a guitar player because of Ace Frehley.
All right, we're gonna go deep then. So first and foremost, did you have? Well, no, I'm not gonna start there. Well, you know, I'm gonna go around the room here because now I got the Luch and I got a Jonas, and you guys are both. I would like to know what's your favorite early, and you can do just favorite Kiss record because you already said Unmasked. By the way, great choices. Honest Madison Dynasty are not. I like
Dynasty, and I mean, I like all those Kiss records. I mean, I love Rock and Roll Over, and I love all the stuff up to like. Even Lick It Up is a great album. Yeah.
Do you remember what is the song that Gene revisited on his solo record from Rock and Roll Over? You remember that?
Yeah, that's.
I think it's "See You in Your Dreams."
Yeah.
So, did you have the good fortune, either of you, to see the Paul Stanley solo tour?
No, I haven't.
A few years back, and this was when Paul Stanley's solo record came out, which was kind of a subpar album, I'll be honest. But he did like 3 things off the original solo record. Yeah.
But that's a perfect fucking record, you know. What? I mean,
is it your favorite solo of the 4 solos?
I mean, it's like it's always a tie between Ace and Paul.
So let me this. It goes Paul, Ace.
I don't think Paul's is just a little bit better.
I agree. I have to agree. Paul, and Ace is, by the way, Ace is almost. There's a little. Dude, there's a weird little. Bear with me here. There's a little New York, and I know they're from Detroit, but there's a weird little Stooges feel. Ace has a little punk
Ace is
thing
from
going.
Brooklyn, bro.
Yeah.
Ace is from New York, man.
So for me it goes Ace, or for me it goes Paul, Ace, Gene, the other one.
Peter. Yeah.
Do you?
Do a Spastic Blur reference, right? Yeah. When they have on the Spastic Blur album, when they have like, I'm here to do a solo. When Ace Frehley comes in and Marco does the Ace Frehley solo that he does live, his guitar solo live, and then the drummer goes like, "Where's my idol, Peter?" And they start putting on what's the name of the disco song on Peter's album that was kind of a hit.
Baby. No, that's Don't You Let Me Down. It's not that one. Oh, it's a rock. It's got the word rock in the title. Yeah. It's got the word rock in the title. That's all I can remember.
Yeah.
What?
I'm just gonna throw this out there because we're on Pete right now, though. Dirty Living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good song.
I love his vocals. Like,
Ace has been my favorite.
I'll tell you this. There's actually a good version of Hooligan that you can hear on live when they did that tour. If you bought the Kiss DVD set, you know, that whole kind of retrospective. And they did. Yeah, and they did Hooligan. That was the Pete song that they did that year, and it's actually really fucking good, dude. I mean, okay.
That chorus is great. You know, I'm a hooligan, won't go to school again.
You won't know, no. So wow, I'm really enjoying this Kiss conversation. I have to say. So
we talk for like 3 hours.
We're gonna go as long as you're free, and so I will say this.
It's just a few more minutes.
It's just a few. Totally understandable. So we well, actually, with that, we should wrap it up because we got to get this man off to dinner. But you know what? This is the kind of stuff we love to do in the pod. And on the next podcast, we're gonna do we do something called Blank Versus, and the next one is Jay versus Kiss. Because I told them, and what it is they asked me trivia questions about Kiss, and there's not a question you can't ask me that I don't know. So I'll just ask you, what is Gene Simmons' real name?
Oh, that would be don't tell me. Kyle Witz.
You got it. What is Paul Stanley's real name?
It's Saul something.
Well, no. It used to be. I used to read that.
Ace is Paul Frehley.
Yeah.
Paul Frehley. And I used to read that Paul's was Paul Stanley Eisen. Eisen is his last name.
You're right.
But I read recently that it was called Bert Stanley Eisen. So his first name I think is Bert. But in any case, yeah, it could be. Yeah, Bert. So they're getting ready to hit me up. Well, you know what? I'm just going to kind of pull us back from the edge here and just say this has been a completely enjoyable conversation, dude.
I'm fucking glad I ran into you guys in the lobby. You know, it's like,
yeah, that's a good way to spend your day.
I always enjoy like meeting, especially in the U.S. You know, you just bump into anyone and just become instantly friends. You know,
absolutely.
That's what I love about the States. You know, I mean, it's like.
Well, we're all metal guys.
If we're all into the same stuff. I mean,
and that's what I was just gonna say, especially all metalheads, man.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, man, what are you doing? Want to have a fucking beer, man? Fucking hang out.
I mean, I don't consider myself a metalhead. I play metal. I don't listen that much to metal anymore.
You're a music guy.
I'm a music guy, but I still fucking worship the metal. I mean, Judas Priest and Iron Maiden. Everything I grew up with is still like it's in my DNA. I just can't. I will never get rid of it. So.
You can't. Yeah, and that's
one of those like, oh, I'm a fucking metalhead. I like music. That's I don't really care whatever it is. If I enjoy it, I like it. You know, it's like whatever it is.
I have to tell you, I don't think there's a better way we can end this than that. And it has been a true pleasure to talk to you, my friend. We're going to be at the show tonight. I mean, we haven't even gotten to the show yet, which is great. But we've been able to share some beers, some stories, some vinyl shopping, and some Kiss love together, and that's great, dude. I just want to thank you for spending some time with us. We will. Good. We're gonna have.
Pleasure to kill.
Well.
Or kill for pleasure with Bloodfeast.
Also, you're dressed to kill, but we will. We'll hashtag you. We'll at you everything on Facebook, so you know when we post the interview. But thank you for spending some time with us, brother. And
pleasure, as I said.
It's been a true pleasure. It's been great.
And
So
you've been feeding me beer, so it's like
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, it's a win-win situation. You know?
Win-win.
Talk about Kiss and you're drinking beer. It's like,
talk about Kiss and drink beer. Can't beat that. Well, all right, dude. Well, I know you do have to go eat with your bandmates, and we really appreciate that. So thanks for spending the day with us, dude.
thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure.
Outstanding. Good night.
All right, here we go. All right, here we are. Here we are. We're being told to be quiet, so fuck that. We are at night 2, Decibel Beer and Metal and Beer Fest, and we are here with what we thought was not only definitely the top set of the pre-show, but one of the top sets of the whole fucking fest. We did say that early on. Necrot.
That's right, Necrot.
Necrot. I just want to make sure. Hey, fuck you, dude.
However you want to say it.
But
It's not me. It's net.
We're not like you know.
they're not. What do you call it? Grammar Nazis. So go fuck yourself.
That's right.
So, but we are here with Luca, who is bass and vocals.
Bass and vocals.
Chad, drums.
Oh, Sonny, guitar.
So first and foremost, you guys are from my side of town. I'm from the East Bay, but we've been looking forward to talking to you for a while. The podcast has been around for a little while. Will and I both had on our year-end list last year. We enjoyed the debut album very much. So let's talk about first and foremost how you guys are enjoying the fest.
Oh, the fest has been great. We've been treating really good. The show that we played was the pre-fest show, which was like a medium-sized show with Midnight and some other bands and like Power Man and Coffin Dust. It was a sick show because people showed up and like people went nuts and really enjoyed. We played a really good set, in my opinion. And
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'll tell you this: we spent some time with Power Mad the next day, and they said, "Man, those guys killed it." Yeah, they did, man. They were highly complimentary of your set. So,
yeah, I didn't know the band before seeing them the other day, and I guess it was cool to share the stage with something different than our usual. Usually we play with like punk bands or death metal, especially, or doom bands. Like we share the stage with Spectral Voice. We just finished seeing live. They just played a great set. We've played with them many times, but like, usually we don't get to play with like, I don't know what you would define power metal. Probably like a power metal.
Old school, yeah.
Old school. Oh, okay. Right.
Been around since the '80s, so yeah, they're not your normal thing. I have to say,
it really isn't, but it really
every
isn't, but it's cool.
Every black or death band that comes through the Bay Area, you tend to open for, which I think you'll be headlining, soon. You should be in the Bay Area, but
about that is, you guys like playing with someone a little different. You might pull some different fans in you normally wouldn't get. I mean, I would think you would want to do that here and there once in a while.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's also why we decided to go on that Black Dahlia Murder tour, together with Suffocation. Of course, that was more close to our style, but like.
You might get some new fans that you wouldn't normally.
Yeah, I don't absolutely care who we play with as long as we get to play.
So how is the fest treating you, other two fellows? I just want to make sure.
Played my brewery the night before.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Will is from Atlas Brewery.
I missed both shows because Will and I live in the same area. I couldn't make it
Oh,
for that.
I see.
I couldn't make it up the next night to see you guys. And I'm from the Bay Area too. And
So you're just here as a poser.
Wow, he zeroed you in right away, dude.
I love this man.
I'm joking, man. Oh shit, that was.
For right now, maybe yes.
You better come to the next show, man. You gotta redeem yourself.
I have to fly back home. Yeah, Mom and Dad, I'm coming out, but I'm going to a show only.
Well, we do have two other members of the band here. So what are you guys finding about the fest? You having a good time?
Yeah, the fest has been a fucking blast. I mean, getting to hang out all day yesterday and see Voken, and getting to see Spectral Voice today, and fucking Incantation, Repulsion, Carcass,
By the
Mayhem.
way, Incantation's next, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
We won't keep them. Yeah, we'll make this quick.
There's like we all want to see.
No, but it's good to come here and hang out with a bunch of friends we haven't seen in a while, and just it's great. And Albert, fucking awesome for having us here, and yeah.
He does love you guys, by the way. I know that for a fact. And did you guys get to shake some hands with some bands that you were like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm meeting this guy?
Yeah, I met the singer from At the Gates. That was pretty cool.
I mean, he fucking complimented you on the show.
Yeah, complimented it. Was definitely wasn't expecting that, and then
they
they were there. Yeah, we saw him there that night. So
yeah, it was really cool, and Luca met Danny Lilker, who looks like his uncle.
Yeah, all right. I'll buy that. Yeah.
You guys actually look.
I mean,
like you're
we got the same size of arms. You know.
I'm friends with Danny. He hung out with us all day yesterday. That's cool.
Yeah, so
That's right.
yeah, no, it's been great.
I mean,
so far.
we're lucky because we've been touring a lot, so we have friends all over the states. So in these occasions when this kind of festival happens, for us it's just meeting a lot of friends that we haven't, that we only get to see a few times during the year when we get to be in their town or get to play with them. But also, it's like Decibel magazine has been supporting us. And so it has been a real pleasure for us to be able to give something back by playing a great show for their
You guys made Decibel's year-end list, right?
Yeah,
They were on the year-end list. It was fairly high, yeah.
Yeah.
It was number 4.
Yeah.
And well deserved, by the way. Again, you were on both Will and I's year-end lists.
Yeah, I met you guys. I told you last time.
And being the poser of the group, I have to admit, I had not listened, and we did a thing on the podcast. What did we miss? And you guys were mine. I was just like, I'm an asshole. I missed this one. I love it. So yes.
So we
I
do this thing.
partially redeemed myself.
So we do this
You're
thing
gonna
where
come to the show
we have
next
our
time.
mid-year list and we have our year-end list, like best albums of the entire year. So Necrot, naturally, I'm a huge death metal dude, and Jay is too. So Blood Offerings made our list. But what we do is when we all get together after the year end and we say like, what the fuck do
Fuck just that.
what the fuck, what happened, what were we smoking, what did we miss? And John said Blood Offering.
cocaine, marijuana.
Blood Offerings was like, I have to ask you, all right, do you have children?
No.
We are children. We
I have to say,
have parents. We have parents.
I feel like I could have answered that question.
I'm a father of 2, and so like the baby hanging upside down and all, like I was like, like
You just play the music without.
yeah, it's like, can I black that part out? Like, that's my own.
You guys are slowly revealing yourselves as mega posers throughout this whole fucking.
I know, right?
It's not even that. It's not even that like poser. It's just that has been like the most controversial part of like the album cover for everybody that I talked to have been like, yeah, I like the artwork, but the baby is a little too much for
but it's because people, I mean, they don't get the meaning behind it.
Yeah.
It's like
I get it. As a father, I'm like, and trust me, like I love Cannibal Corpse. I'm a death metal guy. Like I'm not adverse to seeing stuff like that. But now that what is weird is now that I'm a father of 2, like sometimes when I see stuff like I'm like,
Well, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Because for me, the meaning of the song Blood Offering and that image in particular is also like,
that's what people used to do.
I can explain it to you. So it's like,
He's like, I did this many times.
So, for me, the meaning of it is like, society and in general, this world is very dark and grim and lots of fucked up shit happens. Okay? Yes, and you think so too. So basically, the way I see it is like when you give birth and you put a new person into this world, you're basically ending it over and sacrificing it.
Making a blood offering
to this fucking world.
Trust me. If I could,
so it's like
if we had 20 more minutes, I could tell you my background. I get it.
You were there. You know what I mean? That kid that was held over to the king of the dead or the fucked up shit. That was you. Probably what? 25 years old. How old are you?
Oh no, he's he's 46. Yeah. All right.
45.
Well, yeah, but you look 46. So let's talk about influences for a minute, because when I hear your stuff, first of all, I hear like old school is what comes through to me. So I hear a little Possessed, I hear a little Death, I hear a little.
I do want to say that.
Are you going to talk about Children again? Because
No.
I'm joking.
Interview changed.
Okay. All right, interview is done.
Yes. No. I was just gonna say is like real briefly where you were going with that is like, you do old school, but you do it well. There's a lot of people who try to do it, and they do not do it well. You guys do it well. Like you guys, you nailed it.
It's legit. So let's talk about influences. What do you love?
I love Immolation. I love Death. I mean, I should say Death first. That's my favorite band ever. I love Immolation. I love Morbid Angel. I love the classics, man. Lots of my favorites come from the East Coast of the United States.
East Coast. All right.
Yeah, from
East Coast
Florida,
death guy.
New York area.
All right. Well, Florida. Yeah, of course.
Texas, too.
All right. Let's get some other questions in here.
I would just say punk and death, just punk and metal in general. So you got Ramones, Discharge, GBH, Sacrilege, and then going on to metal would be like Slayer and Morbid Angel.
Before you said Slayer, I was going to say this is the Jeff Hanneman in the group because he brought the punk influence, didn't he? Right?
Yeah.
And then I do want to hear from Steve because Steve plays I'm sorry, Sonny. I apologize. Yeah, that's it. For what it's worth, he dominates my vision. No, but I have seen these guys many times in the East Bay, and I paid attention to that black, I think Les Paul Custom you're playing through Marshall old school kind of amp. So I do kind of want to know who your major influences are.
Well, like as far as like the kind of shit that we're playing, it's like, you know, I love fucking Obituary. I love like
Did you hear the new
old Celtic Frost. The new Obituary is fucking sick. But
Celtic
yeah, like
Frost. We're all Celtic Frost.
You know, I love, you know, yeah, like Slayer's fucking sick. Like, you know, all the old Florida shit, like, you know, Morbid Angel, Death, and fucking like even like shit like Nocturnus and shit. I like weird shit like that. Old Cynic and fucking old grindcore, a lot of underground shit. You know, stoked to see fucking Repulsion.
Yes.
You know,
Did you guys get a chance to mix around with him a little bit? Did you run into him already?
I've met him before. I met him. I got to know him in Montreal once.
Okay.
That I was playing with another band of mine, and they were there to talk about stuff. They had like something organized that they were talking about.
Promoting something or something?
No. It was more about like lyrical, into death metal lyrics, into society, like some weird shit, man. Let's go watch Incantation.
Yeah. Yes. You know what? But well, let's just wrap it up and just say we're glad to talk to you guys. Sorry it had to be so brief, but again, one of the great sets. We're going down to see Incantation. That's a great way to end an interview. Thanks, gents. We'll post on your Facebook page when we post the interview.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for the interview.
All right, we're here at night 2 of the fest, and we just happen to have what we would consider a legend, Bill Steer, with us. Very kind to take the time and talk to us, and so I just first want to welcome you. We're at the Metalheads podcast, if you don't know who we are.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to just start straight off and just say, how's the fest going for you so far? You having a good time?
Absolutely, yeah, we all are. Yeah, really good vibes. Like I was just saying now, I mean, as soon as we arrived, we thought, yeah, this is going to be really nice. You know, just a lot of familiar faces here, and yeah, it's a very friendly vibe.
Well, I feel it's a well-organized fest, at least the gist that I get from it. I wonder if from an artist perspective, that feels the same way to you?
So far, yeah. I mean, yeah, I haven't even been anywhere near the stage, so I can't comment on that, but it's looking good. It's definitely looking good.
It seems good from a distance. I'm going to kind of start into some personal stuff here because I happen to know you're kind of a vinyl collector, and we're all vinyl collectors on our show. So I'm just going to kind of hit you hard up and tell you, are there any holy grails that you've got waiting out there that you're looking for?
That's a good question. That is a very good question.
Now, is that because it's a good question because you can't think of it, or your list is so long?
Oh, no, I mean, actually, it's... There's always something.
We all have a list, you know, so...
Let me think. Because over the years, I've been quite lucky and have gradually tracked down most of the records that I always wanted to own. I mean, there's obviously always other things that you're still looking for.
And I know you're not just shopping for metal, by the way. I'm kind of familiar. I read a pretty good article about your collection, and it kind of jives with some of the things we believe in. But in any case, I cut you off there.
Yeah, that's all right. I think probably one of the bigger ones for me is the whole culture of the BBC transcription discs, because you'll get, I mean, I've got one for the Groundhogs, which is really, I guess it's a very rare record. It's like a live thing from about '74, but it's very good. But often those discs, they're a mixture of different things, like different sessions from that period. And for example, a band like Pato, who I'm a big fan of, I'd love to track down one or two of those discs where the Pato are featured. But there's so many artists that are on those discs, and that's
on one disc. I'm assuming that some of the BBC discs have multiple artists on them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I really don't know much about it. It's just something that every now and then I do a little search and see what's out there. but they tend to go for silly money, obviously.
So when you guys are on the road, then is that something you do when you got some free time? Are you jetting off to a place to see if you can find something?
I mean,
are you just more a hunter as opposed to just having something in mind? You just kind of go.
It's a bit of both. I mean, in the US, because we've done about 5 tours off the back of that last record,
right?
And you arrive in a town and you Google where's the nearest record store, and there were certain things I really was looking for, because I was very aware that the US editions of the Sweet albums are very different from the ones at home.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a different cover, or the A-B thing is flipped, or
we know all too well about that.
Yeah, or, like what's that record? Off the Record, I think. Like, there's actually a different edit of one of the tunes on there. It starts differently. Just little things like that.
You speak our language. For what it's worth, this is how geeky we can get. Do you have some favorite American record stores?
I'm trying to think, actually. There are very few that I've been to more than once. It tends to be every time you hit a place, it's a different day. So I can't really think of any. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would say this, but it's hard to eclipse Japanese record stores. Those are just out of control. Yeah, it's just too much. I mean, you just see things you never thought you'd actually.
Versions with rare tracks and
it's. And how they get everything in mint condition, I don't understand. You'll get like an original pressing of a Wes Bruce and Lang record that's just immaculate, never been played, and it's like. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: is there any rare Carcass vinyl that you don't own?
There's bound to be. I mean, I don't really. Yeah. I don't have it in my collection or any of the stuff that I've been involved in, because I wouldn't really want to relax by listening to my own music.
I can't stand myself.
It's hard to explain, but everyone's different. I mean, our original drummer Ken, he would listen to Carcass, recreationally. And I just thought that when I lived with him for a few months, I was really baffled by that. He'd just wake up in the morning and start listening to Carcass. I thought it was so funny.
Ken, I gotta go. Go ahead.
Actually, just to add to that, what's hilarious about this whole weekend, every night we've gotten back, I brought my Bose speakers and everything. So me and Will, who's not present right now, me and him are rooming. Every night we've just been putting on all the death metal and letting it loop all night and sleeping through it. I mean, literally, both nights we've been here.
Sleeping through it. Sorry about that.
Waking up very relaxed.
They were awake for a Carcass, but they slept through everybody else, right?
No, but it's so, like you were saying, he just recreationally.
Yeah.
It's our life. You know what I mean? So it's just great music.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point. It's music, because I think we all get caught up in this thing of looking at things in narrow genres, and we forget that there's overlap everywhere in music, and that's been my mantra for years. It's all music.
Actually, if I can be so bold, though, then I think hard work comes into the conversation here all of a sudden, because you guys suddenly here was this shift, and I don't want to say it became more musical, because I don't think that's the right word for it, but it became in its way more accessible. And also, again, I don't mean to use that as a dirty word, but I think if I may say so, it's a sort of recognition of what we're doing here is art. It's legit, and so I think you should be commended for that. And actually, that's not even a question. It was just a compliment. But while we got you, and we don't want to keep you too long because you got a long night ahead of you. But would be hard pressed not to ask about what's going on with next record.
Oh yeah.
Just to see where we're at.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the topic that always comes up now, and with good reason, because it's been so many years since Surgical. I was mentioning earlier to somebody that I'm really out of touch with the way the so-called music industry works now. So after 2 years, I assumed it's new album time. Yeah. So in January, booked some rehearsals with Dan, and we got loads of stuff worked up. And then we realized, oh, no, we're not making an album. Jeff had booked up another year of touring pretty much. And here we are in 2018. So I think, he's the exact opposite of me. He keeps very much in touch with what's happening and how the music world is today. And he's been our manager figure for this whole period. So he saw it very differently, and he didn't feel there was any rush for us to do an album that quickly. But I think even he now sees that we do need to make a record. And we demoed loads of material at Christmas.
Okay.
48 to 50 minutes worth of music. And then we're going to get at least a couple more tunes in the bag, so we've got plenty to pick from.
Take this as a compliment, but your shoes and your pants say that you're out of touch with what's going on in the music industry right now. That's
Absolutely.
But can you talk about that for a minute? Like, I mean, because that's the truth is that you were kind of away for a minute, and I think the industry changed under you 100%. And I want to know what that experience was like for you. And maybe you're not, maybe you're just letting him handle it, which is great. But I mean, how's that been for you? How strange is that?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's a big subject in itself because, so much change from the original incarnation of Carcass to the, the reformed version that people see today. That period between was what, I don't know how long, 15, 16, 17, so however many years it was, and everything changed in that period. And I refuse to be negative about it because it's just how things have developed, and I think there's as much good as bad. Certainly, initially, when we came back, it was very good because all of a sudden we could do these huge festivals that didn't exist when we were first around. So there's that kind of thing. Obviously, there's the internet, and that's a very mixed bag. Some great things have come off that. Music has spread much more widely and rapidly, but then there's the negatives.
Well, I think part of it is, if I may be so bold, is that you were able to establish yourselves ahead of time, So I mean, I have to tell you, that puts you in a kind of a legendary status. And I don't know if you know that about yourselves, but we've talked to many people, and I know you did 70,000 tons of metal, and you're here this weekend. And every time we talk to people, they're like, this is a great quote. I talked to one of the guys from Repulsion, and I said, hey, could we get an interview from you guys? And he said, yeah, no problem. He said, there's no rock stars here except Carcass. And what I mean is, it's because people are kind of intimidated by you guys. He meant that as a compliment.
Because, we were hanging out, we were all at the Sheridan Hotel when you guys walked in, and you saw us all sitting there. It was just a load of people, bands hanging out. You guys walked in, and everyone literally just kind of...
I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Which, by the way, you drank that beer really fast, so you really impressed us. And to be honest with you, I don't know if you guys want to squeeze in another question. The truth is, I want to be respectful of your time, so I don't want to keep you.
I'm fine. Yeah.
You're good for a minute. Okay, cool. All right. Well, then let's ask you this: did you get try any of the beers here this weekend yet?
Yeah, I mean, not as many as I would have liked, but I mean, the stuff that stood out to me, if I remember the name correctly, was it Wayfarer?
Yeah, Wayfarer. They're here.
Yeah. I thought that was very good. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the sort of lager pilsner style, but when it's done well, it's still a beautiful beer, and that was just really good. And the IPA was also very good.
What are you a fan of?
What's your style? That's what
Oh, okay. Well, for so-called session drinking, brown ale, bitter, stuff like that.
Okay.
And then for your sort of late night drinks, I love barley wine.
You are speaking.
We like the barleys too. Has anybody done a Carcass beer?
No, it's been mentioned to us on occasion. It's just never felt quite right.
Okay.
It's really flattering when people offer, but when you get down to the nuts and bolts of it, it's never seemed the right thing to do.
Gotta be the right fit,
Yeah.
No, and I have to say, I have to respect that you're like, nah, let's just don't slap our name on anything.
Yeah.
And John, before you go too far, you need to remember that he comes from Liverpool originally, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I guess our band has always been linked to Liverpool because that was the nearest city to where we all came from.
Okay.
But really, we're all from the very fringes of Merseyside.
Okay.
So Ken and myself were living in this place in the Wirral called Heswall, which is it's deeper suburbia, almost on the edge of the countryside. Yeah. And Jeff's from way over the other side in St Helens, which again is not very Liverpool-y, if you know what I mean, in terms of a culture.
There's a reason he matches that.
We're getting to football.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's funny. I'm a Liverpool fan as an American. Just for a second, I've done this with Vinny from Anathema before when I've talked to him, and he looked at me and he just was like, "Well, you're speaking my language." I literally had to wait for the first half of their game on Saturday to watch it before I got in the car to leave. So that's how it came. I want to ask you just real quick, how do you feel about the beer scene in England? I was just over in London in 2015. I went over to see Opus 25th anniversary, and it just seemed like the scene was starting to really burst.
Yeah.
Like there's traditional English beer, but then there was this kind of merger of all different countries merging in with English beer, collaborations and new beer bars, and which when I talk to people over there, like, this is a new thing for us, and it's a great thing. And I'm thinking, where has this been for? This should be happening here. And I didn't know if that was a scene that you were involved with at all, or you seeing as you're at a beer and metal festival here, that's why I
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
it up.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess I've always had an interest in it. Well, not always, but like, you know, my adult life, you know, because yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, people like Jeff and myself were quite lucky because we're of that generation where there wasn't such a neurotic handling of youth. So it wasn't a problem to be drinking at the age of, say, 15. It was kind of expected of you, not you know every day, but you know that's what you did as a teenager. You
The
went
rite of passage
you went to a friend's house and drank, you know, a couple of liters of cider or whatever it was. So in those days, yeah, you know, it was just fuel for getting drunk.
Yeah.
And you know, that kind of thing. But then later, yeah, I kind of started to just really enjoy beer as a drink and the whole culture around it. I just found it fascinating. And
but do you recognize this St. John's talking about? Do you feel like the crafty thing is starting to happen a little bit by you guys?
Oh
or?
yeah, it is. And again, it's a good and bad thing, I think, because there's some real innovation, and then there's also some stuff which is like, this won't be around a year from now. You know, you can just tell it's very kind of shallow, almost fashion-based stuff. But I mean, there's like, I don't know if you've heard of this guy, but there's an American guy living in the West Country of England, and he's got a brewery called Moor, MOOR.
Okay.
And I think he's done a really interesting thing because his stuff is new, he's innovating, but there's also a huge respect for tradition. Good. And he doesn't really seem to do anything lightly. But he did one beer that I thought was incredible. It was a tribute to Fuller's ESB.
Yeah.
He brewed a tribute beer to that, and it was maybe a tad stronger, but I think it was called Rebirth. But it was on cask in one of my favourite pubs in London for a short time, and it was heavenly. I was going out of my way to go to that pub.
To go find it, yeah. Which is, we draw maps like that too, just so you know. Are you in London now? Is that where you live?
Yeah, East London. I mean, it's weird. I never thought I would live there. You know, like most Northerners, I used to have a real problem with London. I hated it. Yeah. And then, I don't know, at some point it all changed. I moved there kind of by accident because of a relationship I was in. And I've just never left.
EastEnders. Did you? Let me ask you. I know EastEnders. Believe it or not, I know EastEnders. Yeah. But do you? You ever go to what's the Maiden bar there? Carton
Horses.
Do you ever go there?
Yeah, I mean that's a funny.
Just to do it once at least.
Yeah, it's a funny place that really, because I think a lot of Maiden fans go there for obvious reasons, and there's almost this kind of shrine at the back there to the early Maiden years. But you go in there and typically they're just playing dance music at high volume, so it's kind of it's very odd.
For what it's worth, I went once just to do it because it's like for us that would be kind of like a pilgrimage, but it doesn't. You expect to come in and find like cobwebs and something that makes it Maiden-esque. It's not. It's like it's every other.
With your favorite Eddie shirt, and you're like, what?
Yeah, and the staff they're like, what is this?
Who the fuck are you?
I've never heard of it. Yeah, it's very weird. Yeah.
Is it worthwhile to ask you a football question, or are you a football fan?
I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I mean, I do kind of keep up because I was a fan when I was a kid. So officially I support Everton.
Okay.
It's always a challenge to support a team where they don't win very often.
So this Saturday's the Merseyside derby.
I know, dreading it.
All right. Well, are you going to be? You'll be home by then for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, will you go down to the pub and watch it, or you'll just?
Yeah, I think maybe one of my locals will screen that one.
There you go. All right.
But London's kind of funny that way because there are so many London teams, yet so many people insist on supporting Man U or Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was like, it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But,
Well, and if you're in America like me, you have a you get the Maiden. What is it again? West Ham. You get a West Ham shirt just because you want to be Bill.
Steve Harris.
Steve Harris.
This is so funny because I was telling him a story about Richard Barbieri, who used to be in Porcupine Tree in Japan. I know Richard. I was telling him, Richard's a Millwall fan. I was trying to explain the whole Millwall West Ham thing. It's like that's not like a traditional American sport rivalry. That's a serious rivalry.
It's a real thing. Yeah.
It
gets a little ugly at times.
Yeah, some of that stuff is ugly. I mean, obviously the ultimate is Rangers Celtic. I mean, it's just some crazy stuff with that.
Yeah.
But
we have rivalries, and they have rivalries.
So you got a long night ahead of you, and even if you'd like to stay with us, I'm going to cut you off because you were kind enough to spend some time with us. But we were really looking forward to it, and I have to say it's been a nice conversation.
Too right, yeah.
So we're glad to have you, buddy, and we're totally excited to see your set tonight.
Great. Okay. Well, yeah. We'll try and muster up some energy for this one.
Good. That's cool. Let me ask you this: when are you going home?
Tomorrow evening, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, sadly.
Let me just wish you safe travels, and we want to thank you for your time, and that's it, man.
Absolutely. Killer, man. Thank you.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks. We appreciate taking the time. Seriously.
Here we are on night 2, and we just happen to have a friend of the podcast and a friend of friends, a guy we like very much. Zach from Khemmis is with us, but honestly, Zach from Trve Brewing this weekend. So, first of all, I just talked to Zach, and I said, "How's your weekend going?" He's kind of nodded, and he was like, which means he's tired. How's the fest gone for you, guy?
It's amazing. I've never had a better time in my life.
I'm going to turn this off, and then I'll tell you what he actually...
Can I just ask a question about that? You said a great time. Is that because you guys weren't playing, you just concentrate on one thing while you're here this time?
Yeah, that was
It makes a
definitely
big
nice.
difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's hard to... I can't really say that, because last time the folks that we had out let me basically just do the rock and roll thing, and I didn't really have to work. So
Well, and I have to tell you, I mean, you've been pouring most of the time here, so you've had some hours on your feet here.
Yeah, exactly. I really think that's it. It's just literally standing on my feet is beating me down, but I'm having a great time.
What's in your cup right now?
I'm drinking Society's Czech Pills. I don't remember the name.
No, I just had it myself. Actually, I think it's called Czech Pills, believe it or not. Yeah, it's Eris. Yeah, it's Eris.
Yeah, Eris. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I'm actually drinking your
Cold.
Say it again.
Cold.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. It seems to be the only thing you're pouring right now. So actually, that's a good question. Yeah. What? CO.
Pick your words.
So actually, let's talk about that for a minute. How many things do you guys bring out to pour, and what did you bring them in? Are they like mini kegs or something?
Yeah, they're 6 barrels, which are 5-gallon kegs. We brought 2 beers, our Cold, our Keller Pills, and Cursed mixed.
That's what I'm drinking. I'm drinking the Keller Pills.
Yeah, we ran through our mixed culture, sour pale, Cursed. That beer was flying, man. It was insane.
No, I had some Cursed last night, and I enjoyed it very much, dude. Like, you guys have really... I think, honestly, I'm not joking. Other than 3 Floyds, I think you guys are the others kind of like stars of the fest. I'm not joking. I had a lot of people are into True.
Yeah, we were getting a lot of love, so it feels good to be out here. People were giving us a lot of positive feedback about the beer and just being here in general. So,
how do you do you have to drive them out?
We ship them. So Kat, who handles like that side of our business, coordinates everything beforehand. And we sell some beer into the market, so we'll have some bottles and maybe a small amount of draft around town available.
So, cool. So there's some bottled stuff going around, which good to know. And I actually was asking you too right before we started. When are you going home? You're going home tomorrow, early or late?
Super early. I think we got to head out around 7 a.m. So I'm trying to figure out what the right plan is. Do we go to the after show or do we not go to the after show? I don't know.
Fair enough. Understood. Well, first of all, exactly. We haven't heard about the after show yet, so we're not cool.
Primitive Man.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah.
Oh no, I did hear about that. Yeah, I take it back. Yeah, I am at least that cool. I can read on the internet.
Yeah, it's not secret.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what? That's how uncool I am, though, dude. They're like, it's not secret, but let's keep him out.
So let's just change a venue.
Right.
You know what? Talking about beer is all fine and well for this fest, but I do think we need to talk about Khemmis a little bit. So what's going on with you guys right now? I believe you got a record in the can.
Yeah, we just broke up and we're calling it quits.
Scoop, Metalheads scoop.
No, I'm just kidding. We're busier than ever. We just finished up recording the 3rd album, and that comes out June 22nd on 20 Bucks Spin, Nuclear Blast. It's called Desolation.
Desolation.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a scoop? No, I think that's already out there. Desolation. I think it's out there.
Yeah, we were supposed to wait for an official announcement, but
this is it. Nailed it. If you could put it in your pantheon, as it were, step forward. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, I hope so. It is different sonically, so it's not Hunted Part 2, which may or may not be a good thing.
Does that mean it's heartless?
No.
I don't mean that. We saw Paul Bearer was here last night. They were amazing. And I have to tell you, those songs were so much better live than they were on that record. I don't mean to be a dick, but
no. What I'll say is, like, in relation to that, it really isn't, in the sense of our third album is more heavy metal and less kind of veering outside of heavy metal. It kind of is more into heavy metal.
Bless your heart, dude. Bless your heart. By the way, Paul Bearer did kill it last night. Do you guys know this guy? Did you do some shows with him, I think?
Yeah, we played with him, I think, a couple times now, but...
You guys played at Vitus, didn't you, together with them?
Yeah, St. Vitus. I thought the St. Vitus show was... No.
No.
I thought you did.
No.
So what, you headlined the St. Vitus.
Right.
Who opened for you on that?
It was... Let me remember this right. Black Anvil.
Oh, yes. No, that makes sense. They're from Brooklyn.
Yeah, and I'm just blanking out on the...
Oh, let's just stop at Black Anvil. Well, that's great, dude. So you didn't... I don't know if you said roughly release looking at the new record.
Yeah, June 22nd.
Oh, June 22nd. Got a hard number.
Yeah, it's all done. Everything's done on the album. We just approved the test presses, so...
Same person doing the artwork?
Yep, Sam Turner, who's here, by the way.
Sam Turner, who's here?
Wandering around somewhere.
Thematically the same on the cover?
Yeah, so you'll see a return of both the good and evil wizards and some of the other characters.
And you guys are getting ready for a little bit of playing now, too, because we'll see you at Death Fest.
Right, yeah. So here in a couple weeks we leave for Roadburn and playing a couple other shows in Germany after that, and then we get back, play Death Fest, Boston, Vitus, and then after that we're playing Migration Fest.
Wow, yeah.
And some other stuff in the works.
I apologize because I know Roadburn well enough, but I'm trying to remember where the fuck that's not in Germany, right? That's in Denmark or something, or...
Yeah, it's in the Netherlands.
Yeah, there you go. And by the way, pronounced in the Netherlands, Der Nederlands. Cool, dude. You know what? You've had a long and exhausting day, and we've kind of shook hands a couple times as we walked by. I've drank a bunch of your beer. We were talking and by the way, it was nice to see you out by me in San Francisco, and you guys killed it that night. It was great to see the Decibel tour.
Thanks, man. That was amazing. It was good to see you. That venue was absurd.
You like absurd? Go ahead, positive or negative.
It was so nice. It was amazing.
Well, it's called the Regency Ballroom, and that's exactly what it is. It's an old ballroom from the 40s or some bullshit like that. Oh, hey, did you get a chance to go down to Tommy's Joint?
Didn't have time.
Fuck. Well, next time you're in town, but if you had walked out the door, you can see it from the door. But you come to town next time, I'll buy you a beer at Tommy's Joint. We'll go up and take a piss where they hired, because that's where they did it. They went and took a piss, and they were like, let's hire Jason Newsted. You and I will take a piss. We'll hire somebody to do something. I don't know what.
Perfect. Yeah, that sounds great.
No, I promise, dude. Like I'm super disappointed that you didn't get down there, because I think that would have been a heavy metal treat for you.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to, for sure.
Actually, next time, here's what we'll do. Next time you come back, we'll hit Tommy's Joint. Show. If you're in town long enough, I'll drive you by the Metallica house where they wrote Master of Puppets and Ride the Lightning, which are both about 5 miles from where I live.
It sounds amazing, man.
You know, Zach did tell me as they drove into town, the first thing they did was put on Kill 'Em All.
Yep, exactly. We rolled into Bay Area, threw on Kill 'Em All. You know, feel like you have to do that.
I'm dying because I was born and raised in the Bay Area. So Hammer's like, yeah, we might go over to Tommy's Joint. I'm like, fuck! I want to go!
And John, it hasn't changed an inch. Which the other thing was I meant to tell you was they served like amazing food there, dude. So like like buffalo with gravy, you know.
Yeah. Sounds
heavy
great.
gravy.
With that, I don't mean to cut us off, but at the same time, I know you've had a long day, so I'm just going to sign off for now, and then we'll probably chat after we close off. And so that's it for now. Thanks for joining us, Zach.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, we're here on night 2. We've had some nice conversations. We have some nice beers, and we just happened to be with the front man from Incantation, who was kind enough to take some moments with us. Played a killer set tonight. And so we're going to ask you, get our picture taken. We're going to ask you about your mead. We're going to ask about your music. We're going to ask about the fest and how you're feeling. So let's just first off jump in and say, how's the fest been treating you?
Oh, it's been badass. I had a fun time. A lot of friends here. It's nice to meet all the newer people at Relapse and stuff. They all came out, and the Decibel guys, and just a lot of people having a good time, drinking and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely awesome.
And good shout out to Relapse in your set, by the way. I think so far so good, or something was the.
Yeah. It actually is really awesome to be back on Relapse. We had falling out. In early,
let's just say they had a lapse of judgment, right?
Yeah,
relapse of judgment.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, and we had And it was just one of those things where it just seemed like the right thing to go back, or work with them and stuff. It's kind of like, for us, it's almost like going home after. I mean, we work with a lot of great labels, and it was cool, but it was, it's nice to go back to Relapse. It seems like it's the right place for us, because really, they're the first label that believed in us, because at our time when like Roadrunner and some of the Nuclear Blast stuff, they all thought we were total crap and didn't believe in us. Relapse was the only one that believed in us.
I'm sorry. Do you want us to kill them? I have a particular
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dad, I don't know what it was, but I think just because we were just too different from what was going on, we were kind of did our own thing, and it was Matt and Bill from Relapse, the two original guys, that really understood, what we were doing meant something to them. We didn't even really know. We were just doing it. We didn't really have any long-term expectations, and they, came and
got behind you.
Got behind us and did a lot for us. But we were all novices at the time, so because everybody was a novice, the label, us, it was like it turned into a mess after a while, because we were learning as we went on, And after years and years, I started to appreciate Relapse, because they started working with us on some of our re-releases of some of our older albums, and they were really one of the few labels that we work with that actually send us royalty checks every 6 months. So it was like, well, they're trying to do the right thing. They're actually paying us for the work we've done for them. So, when we were getting off our last label, like, well, what the hell, I'll see if they're interested. I really didn't think they would be. I thought they would tell us to piss off or something. Yeah. But I brought it up, and they were just like totally into it, and I was like, hell yeah, let's do it.
My guess, and I could be wrong, but my guess is there are two labels right now you can count on for royalty checks every 6 months: Metal Blade and Relapse. And I'm seriously, because I know Brian Slagle treats guys right, but I also know that that Relapse does treat guys right. We've heard that more than once before, so I'm glad to hear that, dude.
Yeah, well, what it was is there was a point when I don't think they had things organized properly. Like in the late 90s and early 2000s, they started changing a lot of their roster of style of bands.
Oh, amazing! That happened, really?
Yeah,
They're kind of all over the map, though, to be fair.
Yeah, but at that time is when they really started getting into a lot of stranger stuff, and the problem is that like the people that were working at the label weren't fans of what we were doing, and they weren't, getting our stuff out to the right people, and we were just getting frustrated, because it's like, well, if you're gonna try to, give a Incantation album to someone that expects to hear Dillinger Escape Plan, you're gonna be bummed out, because we're totally different.
I was gonna say that anybody who expects to hear Dillinger Escape Plan go fuck themselves first and foremost.
Well, that was the way I looked at it at the time too, So I would get so pissed, because I'm like, I'd contact them and was like, why are you giving our album to people that have no interest in what we do? I mean, I understand.
They don't sound anything like Five Finger Death Punch.
But it was ridiculous. It was just, it's like, I mean, you don't have to give our stuff to everyone that's going to give it a good review, but at least someone that knows what death metal is, or something.
Somebody who's in the genre, who gets it, who understands.
So who can give it a fair review. I mean, okay, if you're into death metal, you think it sucks, that's fine. But they're giving it to all these people that want to hear this, whatever this new retarded music was.
Whatever's happening now.
And it was just like, and we got fed up with it. We're like, we felt that they were putting out our albums at a certain point because they wanted the old school, they wanted the name recognition of still having an old school band from the early days. And we were just like, no, we're not having it. If you're not into it, just let us go and we'll figure out our own way. And it worked out good for a while, but now it seems like they have a better grip on, their roster's all over the place, but they understand. They have people that actually like our band and understand how to promote it properly and understand, how to sell it and do all the stuff we need done for a label. It's before they were more, in my opinion, they're more focused on whatever trend they were into at the time. And everything else got pushed aside. And a lot of bands like us and Deceased and even Mortician, we all got kind of fed up with it, because we're like, I understand we're not going to be as big as these other kind of bands, but if you're going to release our stuff, give us a fair shot.
But
Where are all these bands now?
Exactly. Yeah.
Scattered, but I will say this: I do think Relapse, and this is not a big thing for them. No, but I think
his head off.
I think Relapse understands heavy in the broader sense a little more now. I mean, I know I will tell this: they're a label that I feel like there's a pretty good chance I'm gonna at least give something they release a shot. So for that alone, I think you guys deserve to be there, and I think the genre has grown broader. But let's talk about what's coming down the road. What's next? Are you guys putting together a new record?
So wait.
Okay. All right. Now you got a question for
Profane Nexus.
Yep.
Holy shit. Unfucking believable.
I beg your pardon. I should. Yeah, that's a better place to start.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me think.
Hold
No. I'm just. But.
Well, that's glad you like it.
Sorry, let me back up a little bit. I like it. Yeah. No, I love it. I mean, come on. I mean, you guys. But when you guys put that out, did you know that it was going to be amazing?
No, we never do.
Bullshit. Come on, that was an amazing record.
Well, we're always been have an asshole attitude. Like we do what we do, and everybody could piss off. And if you don't like it, cool. If you like it, even better. You know. But it's always been sincere for us. So we just, especially at this point in our career, and even early on when we did our first album, Onward to Golgotha, we really thought we put it out everywhere we hate it and we'd be done. And it's fine. I didn't have a problem with it. The fact that people still like new music that we put out almost 30 years into our career is mind-boggling, I mean, but it was awesome to hear a great response to it, because if it didn't get a great response, it'd still be the same album.
I mean, that's extremely good point.
But let's transition. So let's talk about what's next.
No, hey, so Jay's transitioning. Sorry, he's like,
that's fine. That's fine if he wants to transition.
If you want to stare at his boobs, that's okay.
Okay, yeah, please. Well, anyway, we have. I mean, even before we did Profane Nexus, we had a whole bunch of songs. We had about 18, 19 songs to pick to do Profane Nexus. That's why it kind of worked out good, because we were able to cherry pick not really the best songs, but the songs that work together coherently. Because we always look at it as a full album. We want there to be proper flow and stuff. So we for the new album we had a whole album written already. Plus we wrote new stuff. So we're in the same situation where we have approximately 20 songs. So we're in the process of trying to weed out what songs to use for the next one. But we've had the new songs written pretty much since last summer, about 20 songs. So we're just been waiting to start recording them and kind of refining them. It's over time.
Do you know where you're going to record them?
We're probably going to record where we recorded the last one, which was pretty much our home studio. Because we work with Dan Swano. From Edge of Sanity or whatever.
All y'all can say is Dan
everyone
Swano.
Okay. I'm sorry.
You were like, I'm going to narrow this down. No, that's not possible.
Well, I didn't want to get confused with the other Dan Swanos out there, because he doesn't use his middle name, so I want to make sure.
Noted. Yeah, good call.
But anyway, he's gonna mix it again, and what he basically did is around the time of Vanquish and Vengeance, which was probably about 5 years ago now. After we did that album, he gave us all the information to set up our home studio, so we could record it the way he wants it in our home studio, and then we could send it to him to get mixed.
Rad,
and he was really cool about it. He gave us all information on the microphones, how to do everything, because it would just he obviously lives in Sweden, or lives in Germany now, so it's way easier for us just to record it. In our own studio.
Dude, that's rad. Like, seriously, to hear that Dan Swano set you up ahead of time. It's like, this is how you need to do it, so I can... I haven't heard anybody describe their process.
He's a great guy, too.
Yeah. I've heard,
He's really cheesy guy, which is great. We met him a couple times now. We're over in Europe, and so he comes out to the show. It's always nice seeing him. And, I mean, obviously, he's a legend, but we like it a lot because he comes from the same era as us, so he understands what we're looking for in our sound. When some of the newer producers, engineers, they don't necessarily they want to go more modern. He knows we want that older school vibe to it, because it just works when we sound too modern, we sound crappy.
Yeah, no, and that
You should go down to more sound.
Yeah, but when we did our first album, they were talking about having us go to Morristown. We're like, absolutely not. We're like, we're not going to Morristown.
But I was
every other band went there.
You've given us a few minutes, and I was going to
Okay.
one more question. Which, by the way, thanks for taking the time, brother.
Yep.
Because we do have to talk about your mead. And
Okay,
I know,
that's cool.
I
I know.
But we have
Fucking Chuck is the expert on it. He didn't come out.
You know,
so
all you have to
what
do
a
is tell
poser.
me you've drank it.
I've drank it.
And what'd you think?
Oh, I almost puked. No. No, honestly, I thought it was really good.
First of all, how did this relationship come together?
It was
so bring
okay.
So let's back up. So we know, but like anyone who's listening who doesn't know, Birmingham Meadery in Delaware did a collaboration with you guys, Incantation, to make Goat's Blood mead.
Yeah, but how did that start?
Okay,
Who reached out to
Chuck knows the people there, so they brought it up to Chuck, and Chuck was like,
"Up Chuck."
Yeah, up Chuck. Yeah,
They brought it up
Yeah,
to Chuck.
Yeah, and he was like, "Hell yeah, that'd be kind of cool." And this was like probably almost 3 years ago when they originally started talking about it, but they were having a problem with distribution because you can't send it through the mail to every state, so they had to wait until they could get some kind of license.
I bought it through the mail.
Well, you can now, but I don't know if it's every state. I know I can get it.
Yeah,
too, but-
certain states you can't get it. I think in like Massachusetts you can't order it or something. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs, but it took a while to sort that out because they knew that when they did it, that there was going to be people that want to order it online. It wasn't just going to be you go to the brewery and pick it up kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it took us like about 2 years or something to get everything sorted out. But
2 years, no shit.
But Chuck, worked on it. He's a really a connoisseur on alcohol. He practices every day drinking, so he's really good at it. So
it's like us.
yeah. So he came up with a really cool mead, and I was really surprised because I just got a box of like a case of it sent to my house, and I was like, okay, let's try this stuff because I'm like, I hope it's good because it has our name on it.
My name's on it, yeah, so, okay.
Goat's Blood, Incantation,
and Chuck,
huge letters.
And Chuck tried it out before, so he knew. But I tried it, and I was like, wow, this is really good. It was like it tastes, the mead's kind of like more of a wine, so it kind of tastes like a kind of, I guess, a sweeter wine. But I thought it was really good, and it actually does have goat's blood in it. They mix goat's blood in with however they make it. I don't know the whole ins and outs to making mead, but
it does not get fucking more metal than that, dude.
Yeah,
I will tell you this. So like, I'm a brewer. I'm a professional brewer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and when I heard that you guys made this mead with Birmingham, I mail ordered and spent a ridiculous amount of money to get this.
It's
several
pricey, I
bottles,
know.
and I still have one bottle left. I'm gonna George, our dear leader from the podcast. I'm gonna have him try it, but I'm a beer guy.
Yeah,
I'm a wine guy. Like I've tried wine from all over the world. I'm a brewer. I've brewed beer. And I know mead. This mead, I am not, and I've said this on Twitter a gazillion times. I've tagged you guys on Twitter a gazillion times.
Okay.
This mead is absolutely the best fucking mead I've ever had in my life.
What?
I mean, and I'm like, this is from a very professional standpoint.
Oh, I'm happy you like it.
It is unbelievably
because
good.
I never had a mead before, so I didn't know what to compare it to. But I just knew I liked it. I was like, wow, this is really fucking good.
No.
And I gave it to a bunch of my friends to try out, and everyone was like, this is really killer, it's really good stuff.
I'm telling you,
it's
really fucking
good. It's what's good about it is I could take one swig and I'm already kind of like, wow, I feel something. Like when you take a swig or two and you start to feel a little bit, it's a good thing,
Dude, I totally do. We're gonna edit this out. You just broke wind, and that's disgusting. But we're gonna cut you loose. We're gonna cut you loose anyway, dude. I'll just tell you this: we got to talk about the music. We got to talk the mead. It was super cool of you to spend a few minutes with this dude, and you guys played a killer set tonight, man.
That's cool, and thank you for having us, on the show. And go out and check out the mead. people that know what they're talking about say it's really good, and people that don't know what they're talking about likes it. So that's good.
That's this guy right here.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Cool. Checking out.
Cool.
Hello and welcome again to the Metalheads podcast. This is Jay.
This is Will.
And this is John.
And this is George.
Georgie.
Look who's
we
back.
missed you.
Your leader.
Yes.
We are. Go ahead, George.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest with these guys, but I'm here for the final postmortem to hang out, hear what they have to say, and maybe ask a few questions. But I'm going to let Jay take it over from here.
Well, the most importantly, I would say you were sorely missed, sir. Like many, many times throughout that weekend where we're like, boy, I wish George had seen that. Or also, I bet George is hating this.
or man, I wish George was here to keep us straight.
Well, you know, the one time I've already listened to the rest of the footage, and the one time I heard my name came up was Will saying that he's got some of that incantation mead for me. So I'm expecting that now.
Yeah, I've been saving Nuclear Hop Assault, Reindeer Slayer, and Goat's Blood mead for you. I know. I should have. You know what? I didn't even think about it. Well, I didn't know if you were going to be there last night, which is another. We all met up for John's 50th birthday last night at Atlas Brew Works.
50.
Happy birthday, Big John. Only got to tell you via text, so happy birthday, buddy.
No,
yeah, by the way, my kids may come down and say happy birthday in person.
Well,
I can't. Because they were there last night.
I appreciate everyone showing up. We had a good time.
But I should have brought those beers. I should have brought all that beer last night, and I just flaked out, forgot.
So, Will, I say you saved the incantation for the mid-year.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Because George needs to enjoy it in person like you and I did when we had it the first time.
You want to see the look on my face.
They are going to make more, so.
Yes. And I believe they pay attention to some of the stuff we post sometimes.
Well, I like that. But it was also interesting to me that Will knew more about the mead than
John.
Than John. But he was like sort of desperate to get the band member over to us who, not desperate, but it was like, oh, hold on, we need, which one was it? Yeah, bass player. So our purpose here, though, is to kind of decompress, debrief, so on and so forth. There's a fairly lengthy, well, I don't know how lengthy it is, but there's a episode after this, I believe, not before this. Correct, George?
Yes, this is the final postmortem of the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest episode.
And then the episode, and then all that we've. In any case, so have they heard
the last thing?
Yes, you have heard everything else. This is the final bit.
I should have asked that question before we started, but in any case, I think the best thing we can do is to talk about what we like best about the fest. That's what we didn't get a chance to do.
And you didn't really talk about the last day too much. It was all interviews.
Yes. Well, I'll just say this first and foremost, and this is the overall. This is the undiscovered festival in the United States right now, in my mind. It's just flawless and super fun.
Yes. I've described it to many people that I've never been on the 70,000 tons of metal, but everyone I've heard who's been on that, it's similar to that where the band, like 70,000 tons of metal, you're stuck on a boat with these people. So you're going to have guys in the buffet line with you to eat breakfast from the bands. And here, like, they're all out just roaming around, drinking beer, having fun. They're up in the foundry. I mean, we get media pass to get in there, but it's just like us at the hotel. They're just in our hotel. And it's a great close-knit sort of, you got two uber sort of extreme types of, I'm not articulating this well, but you got craft beer nerds and you have metal nerds.
There you go.
And then it's like, and you layer that on top of each other, and it's like super craft beer metal nerding out, and
all at the same time too.
Yeah,
not separate, and together.
That's the perfect way to put it. Not to mention that some of the crafters and brewers, as it were, are also in bands, and they're obviously metalheads themselves. A lot of these guys.
Yeah,
it's
and Decibel does a good
job.
Yeah, and Decibel does a good job. They invite breweries to this to pour their beer at the Fillmore in Philadelphia during this fest who love metal. So you're not going to get like some just random Goose Island Brewery here. It's like
it's right next to the Goose Island Brewery, though. Did you notice that? That was the building.
Oh, that was the. I think it's a pub or something.
That was
brew pub. Yeah.
That was the building right next to that open field, that we were standing next to late on Saturday night.
Will tried to burn down.
I tried to rescue somebody before I burned it down.
You did.
Well, you did rescue somebody, so you did a good deed prior to that.
Hey, Jay, just say no.
You got my back.
No. Just through all your cigarette smoking.
Yeah, you broke even karmically, I would say. But George makes a good point. Maybe we should kind of review the second day, and I can tell you that if it's all mashed together in your head, of course, the big thing of the day was Carcass, and just to remind you guys, Repulsion played, Incantation played, Spectral Voice, All Hell, Summerlands. I know the ones we were almost excited about were Incantation and Carcass, but
yeah, we kind of missed Summerlands because we were eating at the
the Mad Max place.
Yeah, Mad Max.
Took forever for the food to come.
Yeah,
it did. In the post-apocalypse, food is scarce. That was a post-apocalyptic restaurant theme, which was just ridiculous. Which just meant that our guy was wearing ski boots. Our waiter
in a scarf, like a headband to cover up from all the dust in the apocalypse.
By the way, next year we're all wearing scarves. We will find.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
Yeah. We should get Metalhead scarves.
Jay, I'm gonna say you've started a trend. At some point, like in Decibel 6, there's gonna be like people just standing there like they do at football games in Europe, holding their scarves out for whatever band they follow.
Yep.
And I cannot wait to see some picture of Jonas from At the Gates wearing a scarf on stage.
Hey, was Arthur there with Summerlands?
We may have missed that part.
Yeah,
I know you didn't see them, but you might have seen him.
I didn't see him at all the whole time.
Okay.
At the fest. We actually, to be honest with you, unlike last year where we were kind of feeling it out a little to the setup, I don't think we ever sat down just to sit down at any point during the weekend when we were in the venue. We were constantly moving around, more so this year than last year.
Because you didn't have me slowing you down.
No,
nonsense.
Actually not at all.
We had the Luch to slow us down, which, by the way, I meant to say immediately that Luch is near and dear to my heart already. He should be mentioned as having gone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And was very much a part of the podcast for the time that he was with us.
He was like replacement George.
He was replacement George. And Luch, if you're listening, I love you, buddy. And I'm so glad that I've got you on my contact list now. So.
And I still don't know who the hell you are. I do.
Well, I'm going to do a post-mortem. When we post this, I'm going to post the sort of clearinghouse on the photos, and there'll be plenty of pictures of Luch kissing people, mostly men.
Yes. Yeah, well, we never really clarified, but Luch and I were in the Marine Corps together, and we were stationed at Gitmo Bay together in 1992-93, and then after we both left Guantanamo Bay, Cuba in 93, we both went to 3rd Battalion, 6th Marines at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
Did you guys spank naked prisoners together?
Just each other, I think.
No.
You should see them interacting.
We were naked, and the prisoners were spanking us.
Gotcha.
But back in 1992-93, the prisoners were the Cubans and the Haitians, not
Oh, right.
ISIS.
That's pre 9/11.
Yeah, very pre 9/11. But anyway, so Luch and I were in the Marine Corps together. We spent basically his whole active duty career we spent together, and then of course I went on for like another 22 years, like some kind of retard. Sorry, a slow adult. And
oh no, you didn't offend me. I know about my disability. It's
well,
cool.
Sorry, I looked at you like, oh, sorry, man, I can't believe.
Yeah, no, sorry about that, Jay.
Anyway, so that's Luch. So I've been friends with the guy for like 26 or 7 some years or something like that.
But I want to say, it couldn't be more sincere. He's a gem of a guy. Like, immediately clicked with him. Totally easygoing. The first morning I was there, Will had to run off and see family, so I went and had breakfast with Luch, and I might as well have been you, George. I was just like completely at ease with this guy. I had a good time. It was super fun.
I almost friended him on Facebook just after listening to the footage.
Do it.
And
you can.
I don't know him.
Yeah,
it'd be a little weird.
I don't think so. I think we need to throw out a massive thank you for the liquid beverages he might have brought too, that may have contributed to some of the self-inflicted mayhem on Saturday and Sunday.
Beer-fueled calamity.
Defined that phrase.
Have you
Saturday especially.
Hey, the Beerfield Calamity, of course, refers to one of our shirts, and I just wanted to throw in that there's talk of another shirt order coming up. So if you're interested in a shirt, hit us up on Facebook or something, and let us know, and we'll include you in any order of Metalheads podcast shirts.
So, back to the second day. First of all, that was the day where we hung out with Jonas, correct?
That is correct.
Yes.
From At the Gates.
So just to kind of build this overall vibe, though, and I think we talked about it in some of the interviews, and that is that we just kind of set up camp accidentally, really, in the lobby of the hotel, and everybody came through. So we had just ended up sitting there drinking beer all day with whoever stopped by, and it was
we were on
the Gates and Carcass, and
we're on the curvy couch. So when you walk into the double doors that come into the hotel, you have to look at us. Every single person who comes to the hotel has to look at us. They have to acknowledge our strange existence on this couch. And then after a while, we just started. Lucius brought his collection of beer down, and then next thing you know, like, guys, Bill Steer from Carcass is drinking Sip of Sunshine beer that Luch brought, because we're
which
just
he did
there.
not sip, by the way. He drank that in about like 1 minute.
Yeah, well,
So
he's probably never had a beer that good in his life.
So if everybody has to see you when they walk into the hotel, you down there like, with a ball out, going, hey, you know that thing where you're trying to get somebody to look at your ball.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
we didn't have pants on, so I mean, it would have been difficult to not see them. But it was a blast, man, and that was as much fun as any other part of the fest. And I mean, like, literally the first day, I think we spent as much as 4 or 5 hours sitting in that couch.
Not to cut you off, Jay, but to set it up, I got there around, I think, 11:30. You guys said to meet in the lobby, and I immediately said to these guys, I'm hungry. I need to eat.
Oh,
let's sit here for a couple minutes. And I kid you not, a couple minutes, and this was around 11:30, a couple minutes, I at one point at 2:30 looked at my watch and said, if I don't eat, I'm not making the fest. Because we drank so much beer in those 3 hours, and we still had 2.5 hours to go.
My friend John, who's listening now, said he looked at my Untapped and he was like, how is it that you guys are not dead? Drank so much beer.
I don't think I think I maybe checked in like 1 or 2 things from on tap, but I'm just always like so running around and everything and just hyper in the moment that I just never bother.
That's the thing. If you're really out of it, you're not going to be thinking about checking it in. So as long as you keep checking them in, you're probably okay.
Yeah, you're probably slightly in.
But I had Luch and John to keep me honest, because they would pull their phone out and I'd be like, that's right, I got to check right in. So,
but I'll be honest, on Sunday, I didn't check in 2/3 of the stuff. I mean, when we started up in your guys' room, I mean, it just, I don't know how many beers we had up there before we even had Adam, before he even came up to the room. And then when he was there, I can't even remember how many we drank with him.
We basically polished off like 2 growlers of 6668 Neighbor of the Beast from New England Brewing Company, because Adam was there, and the beer is in the book, the Bible, Brewtal Truth Guide to Extreme Beers. And then
Utopia.
How was that Utopia?
Yeah.
26%.
I've wanted to try that, but I've never been able to find it.
It's basically a liquor. I mean, basically a hard liquor.
Yeah.
If you ask me. So, yeah.
It's delicious, and it's weird because you almost feel selfish because you can only get a little bit, because Luch is sparsing it out to everybody, and then it's like, can I get a bigger glass? Because you just like, you kind of almost want like a big, you kind of want like a half a glass, a half a snifter of it. Yeah. You just get a little bit, but before you
get any further, we need to set up this scenario. I can't remember if it was Jay and I came down to the room. Yeah, I think it was. And you guys told us to come to the room, and we opened the door, and it's just amazing chocolate smell just hit us at the door. And we walk in.
He brought a Yankee Peddler candle.
The room was completely cleaned up, and there was a candle lit, and I'm like, where the hell are we? What happened to like just dirty clothes and pizza boxes and beer bottles all over?
So the one thing about Luch is he is probably on borderline OCD about having everything exactly neat in its place. I mean, when we went back to the room on Saturday night to eat pizza at midnight, cold pizza at midnight, he's like, "Hey, you shitbird!" And the next morning, "You shitbird! You got pizza sausage all over the floor. I had to step in it." Like, I'm like, dude.
Dude, we were like a cyclone coming through that room at like midnight on Saturday into Sunday morning.
Yeah, we look bash, dude. But so on that second day we did, that was the day we interviewed Adam. We did that in Will and Luch's room. But then also, just by virtue of our setting up camp in the lobby, we sort of latched ourselves onto Jonas from At the Gates, and he sort of latched himself onto us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he latched himself onto us.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, "Hey, I'll hang out with these guys."
Yeah, and we had a great time, and we chatted a bunch, and we didn't even plan to interview him. It just ended up turning into an interview. But probably the cooler part of the day was when we went down to Vinyl Altar, and he came with us. Will shared an Uber, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll go to the record store with you." So Will went down and did some shopping and picked up a few things. Will spent his retirement fund, I think, basically.
Well, that was my
Picked up
first
a
time
stack of
going
records.
there, where I actually have a record player, and I have a lot of catching up to do. And
But I will say this: you got all choice titles.
Yeah, I mean, I got 2 Clutch albums. I know, John, but
they were giving those away. Actually,
Is that Jay? Is that if you spend over $150, you get a free album?
They throw one in there.
I should have got like 3 free albums back. But the good news,
Hey,
of
man,
all
it's
that
free.
is my kids are pleased, and I made them lunch today, and I put on Power Slave, and I did my typical lunch with my scout. But my kids are pleased. I got 2 Dio records. I got a bunch of Iron Maiden records.
I think you got the Celtic Frost. Didn't you pick up?
I got that. I got
Oh, you
that.
didn't put that one back down. That's an expensive record too. Those reissues are like
Oh.
$36. So
That was rough. Yeah.
So that was a blast. And going to Vinyl, which, by the way, a great store. I highly recommend anybody.
Yeah, it's on just off South Street in South Philly.
Totally worth it. And George, I picked up those 2 books. I sent you a picture of the CV comics.
Mhm.
One is a tribute to Celtic Frost, and one is a tribute to Merciful Fate. And I cannot. It is clear that the people who wrote these things love them, and they're full of these weird obscure facts and stuff. It was probably my favorite thing I came home with from
Nice.
the fest. Both of them. Yeah, they're so cool.
So
And then,
let's hear about some bands. I mean, did you see Spectral Voice?
Yeah, bands. No.
No.
I did.
I saw a few minutes.
Yeah, we saw a few minutes, and that was the thing. Like, what we need to do is we need to balance the need for interviews and, oh, by the way, we should actually watch the bands we want to interview, kind of thing.
Yeah,
but I think collectively, like, we all definitely saw Paul Bear, we all definitely saw Monster Magnet, we all saw like, we stopped an interview to go see Incantation.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the other ones? Like Carcass, obviously.
I watched every last minute.
One band that I assume you didn't see, because I didn't hear a single thing about them, and they were one of the bands I wanted to see, was Dream Death. Crickets.
They would have had to actually play.
Yeah, I don't think they play.
Crickets.
What do you mean? They're listed as day 2 between Summerlands and Repulsion.
That would be All Hell that played.
All Hell
On my
was
list.
listed as the opener.
No.
Oh yeah, that's right. They changed.
Yeah.
We might have
Well,
missed
if they
them.
did, I don't know. Well, I saw Repulsion because my friend Chris is the drummer.
Mm-hmm. So how was
And
that?
we got.
Go ahead.
What's that?
How was Repulsion?
Go ahead.
Oh, it was awesome. To me, like, it's kind of strange because Chris Moore, who's a drummer for Repulsion, does a lot of sound at Atlas when we have shows. So, like, he's a friend of mine. and I knew him for like a year before I even knew he was drumming for Repulsion. So, like, I kind of had like, this like strange geek out moment of like, my friend is drumming for Repulsion right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think I told this story to you one time, and it's unrelated to the fest, but I used to work with this dude years ago at this hotel. His name was Jeremy, and we worked in the pool bar together. It was a really nice hotel in Tucson. And on the off season, he would go, like in summer, he would go, he had this coffee cart. He would go sell coffee, like in Colorado or something. And he told me he was in a band, and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. That was all. He just used to say, yeah, I used to be in a band. Anyway, and then he died, unfortunately, and sadly, unexpectedly, had like cancer or something. And I read his obituary, and he was in Blue Cheer.
Oh, wow.
He never once told me. Anywho.
But Repulsion, they started off, they played what, Breaking the Law or something?
It was Breaking the Law.
Yeah, and then because unbeknownst to us, because we weren't paying attention, it was April Fool's Day, and they're like, we're gonna just do all covers tonight, and he's like, April Fools, and then they went into their set. But we talked to Matt who's one of the guitar players for Repulsion, or the guitar player for Repulsion, at the hotel. I talked to him for a while, and it's like what I loved about it is like everybody was just so sort of down to earth, and nobody was acting like a rock star. Nobody it was like zero egos, and it was almost weird because you almost expected these people to blow you off, and they're like, "No, man, let's drink a beer. Let's go to the record store with you. Let's do an interview."
I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in maybe the Bill Starion review, but when I ran into the guitar player from Repulsion, like the first night I was there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you're in one of the bands," and I didn't know who he was. And he said, "Yeah, I'm in Repulsion." And I said, "Oh, maybe you'll sit down and do an interview with us." And he said, "Oh yeah, there's no rock stars here except Carcass."
Yeah,
because everybody is like so intimidated by them. Yeah. But we should have sat down with him actually, but it really was just a matter of getting the right people in the right place at the right time. And
yeah, and there was sorry, go ahead.
Well, just that I had the best conversation with Brent or Brett, I forget what his name is,
from Paul Bear.
From Paul Bear, which, by the way, I'll share some of the scoops he gave me. One is the new song they played, they recorded for Adult Swim. And it's something they just play, like, I think, between commercials or something like that. So it's not going to be released anyway. Oh, and it's going to be on the Flexi Desk if it's not already on Decibel. And then he also told me that they are recording Run Like Hell for The Wall cover album.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Which I think they already finished it. He said they just ended up making it the most metal thing. They tried to do it. They were like, forget it. Let's just metal this thing. So, but he was so nice. And we kind of hit it off, and we ended up talking about his gear because I just watched this rig rundown of his gear on YouTube. And so we had a real nice conversation. I said, we'll catch him next time. But nice guy.
And there was times, like especially on Saturday, where like none of us had the recorder with us, but like we're sitting next to and talking with and drinking beers with all these, people from the bands playing the fest. And it's sort of like at some point you almost don't want to ruin the moment by whipping out the microphone and saying like, "Hey, do you want to do an interview?" Like you just kind of like want to enjoy the moment. It's like I'm just having this cool conversation, like your conversation with the guy from Paul Bear. So we're like, if I whipped out a microphone right now, it may ruin the moment in a weird sort of way, and that's kind of like what you need to balance of. Yeah. Balance what bands you want to see, what beers you want to drink, when you want to turn on the microphone, when you just want to just BS with a guy for the sake of BSing. And it's all that balance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we spent almost a whole day with Dan Loker and never pulled out any kind of tape machine. And by the time that day was done, we were friends, I'd say. All of us, it was a super friendly day.
Yeah, I mean, he's hung out at my brewery, and me and him and my buddy Metal Chris, and just hung out at my brewery at Atlas for several hours and just drinking beer. But Dan has said he'll come on the podcast, and he wants to talk about his new grindcore band Blurring. So cool. We'll get him on.
Cool.
That was the same when we hung out with Todd from Three Floyds.
Right. Exactly. That's another great point.
Because he brought down, and if you don't know him, he's also the guitarist in Power Mad. He brought down his guitar to show us, and which was fun in itself, just seeing this custom-made guitar. But
I'll post a photo of that, by the way.
I think we hung out with him for over an hour in your room,
yeah, and with the chocolate candle.
Yeah,
he made a lot of fun of my scarf.
Everyone did.
He was really going at me, which was fine. I mean,
the beauty
it was
of
all
it
good fun.
Is I think Luch had come over to me and said, "Hey, should we be recording this?" And I said, we wouldn't be getting half of this stuff right now, and we might be done by now. And it was just it was very relaxed, and that's kind of the nice thing about the festival, like you guys were saying earlier. Everyone just is hanging out. Yeah. At one point, Todd walked by me. I don't know who was playing. He walked by and just gave me like a thumbs up or something because you remember me from us hanging out in the room. So,
absolutely. And I've friended up with Albert, and almost most of the people we interviewed I've ended up with on Facebook, and none of them took it askance that I sent them an invitation, and some of them sent me invitations. So
it was interesting because I think of all the people I didn't talk to, I saw Albert like a handful of times, and it's always like in passing, "Hey, how you doing?" Albert Mudrian, the editor of Decibel. Well, I think what we should hit on, and maybe this is a good segue into it, is how great of a job now 2 years in a row that Decibel does with this fest.
Dude, if your band is going to be on 805, that band is going to be on at 805. Yeah. Everything comes off without a hitch.
And it's everybody that works for Decibel did a great job that we dealt with on the weekend.
I don't think I ever stood in line for beer for more than 2 people.
Yeah, I mean, so Alex Yard, who does a lot of like the social media marketing, coordinating, kind of like I kind of see her as she's probably the glue that keeps everything together, and she's the main organizer of this fest. I mean, I saw her I think on Sunday for a little while, and I just profused my undying admiration for her skills to pull all this together. Albert, the editor, James, who does all the advertising, but who's helping out doing everything. Vinny, who was helping out with a lot of the media stuff and also does just about everything. I mean, they're the 4 core people. And then Adem Tepedelen, who was there, who I like to think that he brought, he brought the big beer influence.
Yeah,
helped build the culture of beer in the magazine at Decibel. Obviously, with his column, Brewtal Truth column and everything. But just those 5 people off the top of my head do such an amazing job putting on this festival. And from our perspective, and we're not super behind the scenes, but it seems like it goes off without a hitch every year, and every year like the last 2 years, and it's amazing. And like Jay said, I think this is a fest that it should get more attention.
And I think probably it will. It'll be fun to be able to say we were at the first early ones. I know you guys caught the first one, which is great, but I don't know, I just can't remember having a better time, man. I mean, everything from the way the merch was organized to the amount of room you had to kind of be comfortable and walk around in. And of course we had press passes so we could go up into that quiet room. And the sound, by the way, was amazing. There was a great sound throughout. Whoever did the sound did an amazing job.
Yeah, I'd have to say, minus me losing my phone in an Uber car and then stressing for an hour about it because I realized
we got it.
But what I didn't tell you guys is I forgot I unlocked my phone, and I was just like, oh God, of all times to lose your phone, it's unlocked.
That guy was like, wow, this guy's a pervert.
Yeah, why are all these pictures of this guy in this Amon Amarth shirt
and nothing else?
But is this guy's pants?
It just
go ahead.
The whole weekend there was never a stress, outside of my body, just feeling sore as shit.
Yeah,
never a stress the whole weekend for us.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you about another band, and I think I know the answer to this one too. But
they tore the place down, George.
Did anybody see Mayhem?
For about 15 minutes, and I left.
Yeah,
we were in the press room for a lot of that. In all honesty, yeah.
So,
my go ahead. Sorry, George. Go.
I was just gonna say. So, pretty much, you saw Carcass and Repulsion.
I watched a little bit of Spectral Voice and Mayhem, but my issue with Mayhem is that it wasn't the set I was expecting from them. I heard a lot of people saying that. I think Adam was saying that to us upstairs at one point. I think just before we talked with the guy from Incantation, I just didn't expect what they played. And I was just like, well, okay, I've seen them now a few times, and
they weren't doing the Day Mysteries thing.
No. They were like, I think, picking off a lot of songs from throughout their whole career. They were making a point of doing that on this tour. So I watched a little bit, and then the guy reminded me of the lead singer from Primordial a little bit, the way he was all made up with his makeup and his outfit and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting to me because this is only the second time I've ever seen Mayhem. The first time being Death Fest 2 years ago, and on the Death Fest set when they headlined and they did they did the whole album. The lead singer was like all cloaked, and it's almost like he had a mask on, like these extra long fingers or something. He was doing like this weird thing, but it was like super creepy. And then at Decibel Fest, it was just like him running around, but he had like he had the weird makeup on. But I was expecting the whole like cloak and almost like looking like some like the Emperor. The best way I could describe it is like at Death Fest, he kind of looked like the Emperor.
Yeah.
But this time it was completely different. Like I don't think he even had a shirt on, from what I can remember.
You would think you would remember that, Will.
I actually thought you were going to ask about Carcass, though, George, which maybe is like it's like a no-brainer. You don't even have to ask. But they tore the place down, man. They were just flawless and awesome. And I was the only band I actually was smart enough to take advantage of our press passes, because your press passes get you in front of the barrier for the first 2 songs.
In the press pit.
Press pit.
You know what? I had no idea.
Yeah, no, I only kind of figured it out because when I went up for Monster Magnet up front, there were people down there with our wristbands just using their phones for pictures, and I was like, wait a second, I could I could do that. And I mean, we were able to get it far enough up front anyway for anything we wanted to, but so that was cool.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think we talked about this earlier in the episode when we recorded, but like, it could be Carcass, and you can kind of weave your way and just go right to the front because the venue's so big, and it's not that they keep the number of people at a good level that you can kind of just walk right up to the front on any band that's playing, and it's super nice.
Yeah, plus, it's a long, exhausting day, so people are wandering around. Nobody's going to just camp there for 8 hours, you know?
Right.
I still think the only band from the 4 days we've been there for the 2 years, 2 days each year, I think Sleep had the biggest crowd so far in terms of from front to back. I thought that was pretty full for them. And I don't remember anyone at all, even during Carcass, I don't think they were that full because we stood in the back with, I think, we had
It might have been as full as it was, though, at all. You know what I mean? I think they might have had the most draw for the whole weekend.
Right.
I don't know.
But I still think Sleep last year had more people. We just had a nice open cushion in front of us where no one was getting in our way the whole time where we stood for Carcass.
Oh, super comfortable. And you could just wander off and get a beer without having to fight your way back to your spot. And
which you, Luch, may have done several times during Carcass.
Multiple times. We were taking care of each other. Every once in a while.
which I
you see your
did
buddy
not
has
do.
an empty cup.
You guys
John shut it down about 10 o'clock, I think.
You guys tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Do you want any?" And I just give him this look like, "No more beer."
No more Yankee on my wanky.
Yeah,
I was too tired to do that.
But they were wicked, and it was just an amazing set. And it was followed with the great thrill of just having the chance to interview Bill Steer, which really, I think, was a real, quiver in our whatever you want to call it, for us to be able to get somebody like that. And he was such
an arrow in our quiver.
Yeah, well, that's the way you guys do it. Fine. But by the way, nicest guy in the world, and probably I'm sure in the interview I said 3 times like, "We don't want to keep you," and he was like, "Dude, this is fine."
Yeah, I kept going, "Shut up, Jay."
I know.
Well,
I felt a little
the
intimidated.
best dressed metalhead I've ever seen.
Yep.
Well, but that was discussed also during that interview. I think Jay pointed that out.
I did. That's something about his shoes. I didn't mention it. I don't think we mentioned it in the Jonas interview, but I asked him how many vinyls he has, and he has 3,000 records. He told me.
Yeah. Well, that I was going to say earlier when we were talking about, but it kind of overtaken by events. But the one person who didn't buy anything aside from Luch is Jonas. And
Well, there's a reason.
Yeah,
he has
he's
everything.
got it.
No, there's another reason. If I'm not mistaken, he was very adamant about buying first pressings only.
Yeah.
And I think Jay showed him, says, "I don't want that. That's not a first pressing." And we just all laughed. We were like, "Well, okay, we'll take it."
Yeah, he turned his nose up real quick. I don't remember what it was, but I don't remember what the fuck it was. But in any case,
he was having a good time with us while we were buying because he was commenting on all the stuff we were buying, which was funny.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think he really enjoyed himself, and it was just an easygoing bunch of guys buying records. So yeah, it was cool that he tagged along. I forgot to tell you guys too that Christina, who was doing the press, she was sort of the lady at the door of the press, was on my plane on the way home. She looked tired because it was like 5 a.m, and I was tired. I probably slept for 3 hours. And so, but she lives out here in San Francisco. She told me so. I had a brief chat with her, but then I just wandered off into my corner and hugged a cup of coffee and said, "Please, God, just bored so I can go to sleep." And I slept all the way home. It was the shortest flight ever.
Oh, nice.
What were your let's kind of go around and just say what bands you guys. What was your favorite performance, and maybe top 2 or 3 if you have to, because that's going to be hard for me. But like, what did you like most? Will, who stood out for you as like, holy shit, I'm so glad I saw them?
Incantation, because I've loved them for years, and that was the first time I saw them. Going back to the first night, Necrot just absolutely destroyed it. Power Mad, I was a kid in a candy store. Like, I was obsessed with Power Mad when they came out with their EP, The Madness Begins, and then the Absolute Power.
I love that album.
When that came out, like when I was whatever year that came out, 88 or 89, 90 or something.
98, something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was 89 because I think we talked to him a lot.
Yeah. Right. And it was just, to me, and then like, anyway, it was just super geek out sort of moment that takes me back 20 some whatever year, almost 30 years to my high school days. I mean, obviously, the first time I saw Monster Magnet, they were awesome. I bought the new album. I don't have any other Monster Magnet albums, but I may have to go back and revisit some of the older albums and just check it out because it's just.
I'll pick you some choice stuff and hook you up.
Okay, thank you, sir. And then like obviously Carcass. Trying to think else.
Paul Bearer's set was great.
Yeah, Paul Bearer's set was great. I love the new song. I like the new songs more when they play them live, which was my experience when I saw with the Rock and Roll Hotel, probably last year, or whatever. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else because it's like it's a literal is the word I'm looking for. Blur, because of just the amount of everything swirling around at the same time, and of course the beer. So it's sort of like.
And then there's that.
Yes.
What about you, John? What were your favorite?
Well, obviously Carcass, just because they were the rock stars of the festival,
Yeah.
And they also, I thought, killed their set.
Killed it. Yeah.
They, I don't know, for a band that hasn't put out an album in a while, which Bill did talk about doing, and had been away for a while, they just sounded so tight. I think you were saying at one point, Jay, with their sound, which was cool. Although I did find it funny how you kept saying, yeah, the whole time that other guitarist just keeps changing guitars like every 2 songs, and
and Bill's still playing.
It's just stuck to the same guitar.
His old cardboard Les Paul special he was playing.
Yeah. I agree with Will about Paul Bearer. I thought they are much better live, and made it even better that because I was with Jay when he was talking with Brent from Paul Bearer, so that made it even better. And I have to give some love out to our friends in Horrendous. I thought they were great. We had a lot of fun hanging out with them too. You know, I mean, I'm not a Monster Magnet fan, and I enjoyed their set. They just came out with a lot of fury and power, and they did a great crushing set, I thought. And I'm not a super fan of that genre that much anymore, but I still really enjoyed it a lot. So I saw more bands on Saturday than I did Sunday, personally, just out of preference.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so, by the way, I just remembered it's not Brent, it is Brett. From Paul Bearer, not Brett. Brett Campbell.
Brett from Paul Bearer is what I meant to say.
So for me, it was definitely, obviously, Carcass, which is exactly how you guys worded it, and it's the right way to word it, obviously, Carcass. Monster Magnet, I thought was awesome. They were just as good as I expected them to be. I've only seen them one other time, which incidentally, John, that initial set list that was posted was wrong. They played 8 songs. It wasn't just like 5
I thought so, because it seemed like they played more.
There was 2 from the new record, and whoever set up the set list probably didn't know those songs or whatever.
Yeah.
Outside of Carcass and Monster Magnet, next I would say Paul Bearer, Horrendous, probably not necessarily in that order. I agree with Will that Necrot killed it. It's kind of one of those weird embarrassment of riches because I see them here all the time because they open for every band that comes through. And then there was one other thing I was going to mention that I really dug.
Yeah, I forgot Repulsion. God, that was such a good song.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that about covers it, I guess. But it was awesome. And then the beer, was just awesome, man. We had so much good beer, man. So much good beer. Wide range. It was. And it was just fun to run into Zach. That was kind of a highlight. It was cool to see Zach from Trve Brewing and Khemmis, and he sat down and talked with us, as you've already heard. What was there a standout beer for you guys? I mean, it's kind of hard at this point.
Chemtrails,
the Chemtrail
Dark
mix.
Lord, mix. That was really good.
Am I the only one that really? And it's not a complaint, but I was saying this to people, and they looked at me kind of confused. But I thought there was a real strong hint of coconut in that. See, there you go. That's the blank stare I got at the fest.
that's exactly. You just got the same response again.
But the Adroit Theory beer with Danny Lilliker, the Personal Coma, was really good.
It was good.
I hit up Hammerheart a bunch just because of all the smoked beers. I did appreciate that a couple of breweries brought just like a Czech Pilsner, like True.
Hammerheart was there?
Yeah. I think they're one of the 6 breweries now, aren't they?
Was Tanner there?
Breweries. I believe so.
Yeah.
I thought he was. 'Cause I thought I stopped by and talked to him for a second, and I had mentioned us, seeing him at
Shadowwoods.
And he was like, "Oh, that's right. We hung out at Chatterwoods for a few minutes." So he did remember. So
if he was there, I didn't see him.
Is he in a band or is he a brewer?
He does some stuff with Panopticon, but he also has his own band, Obsequia.
Oh, right on.
Oh, sorry. You're talking. Sorry. Yeah. I'm thinking of
Austin.
the guy from Penn. Yeah, Austin. That's the guy that I don't think I saw.
No, Tanner was.
One of the other things I'd mentioned about it, and George said this to me after the fact, and I mean, there's a sort of fellowship and friendship aspect to it, obviously, with us, but I mean, also a lot of the people you meet. But it's also this like amazing sort of networking opportunity. I mean, I don't think I'm ruining anything here, and I promise you I'm not jumping the gun, George, because I've already gotten some emails. But I met Dean Rispler from the Dictators, who works for something called Gimme Radio, and he's going to hook us up with Ross the Boss from Manowar, which I've already gotten an email back.
Yeah. We talked to the guy from Gimme Radio for a while up in the Foundry.
I was listening to that. I was actually going to bring that up on the next episode, which I think I will bring that up on the next episode.
Yeah, Dean is a real super nice guy and has been in touch with me a couple of times since we've been back, and looks out for Ross, so he wants him to promote this record because Dean produced it. But he said to me many times over how nice he is, and I emailed them both today, which, by the way, Ross the Boss has an AOL.com email address.
So do I. Well, I don't use it, but I have it.
And Dean joked about that too. He was like, "Yeah, that's what he's got." But anyway. But it was just cool. There were so many people we met and shook hands with, and added a few contacts to the phone and all that. So that was a real huge plus too.
Right on.
And all nice people, by the way. It was you could have just been drinking beer.
I
did.
didn't. Aside from myself, I didn't meet one asshole the whole time.
It's because I wasn't there.
Well, outside of you guys, yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Hello.
And I do want to give a personal shout out to our second deer leader, Jay, because he ran the show. He filled in well for you, George. Not physically, but
just
verbally.
kick me to the curb. You don't need me anymore. I see how it is.
No.
No.
But
I assure you that's not the case.
If you're listening to this now, you've already heard Jay took control and did such a great job, and actually, weirdly enough, took a lot of the burden off us because we could just sit there and chime in drunkenly every now and again, which you've probably heard, or just sit there like I think the whole interview with Zach, John and I didn't say a thing.
No, I did talk. It was Incantation. I didn't say a word at all.
Oh,
yeah, that was pretty cool. But Will said it on that one. But that worked. There was like a collaborative thing. It worked so well.
But thank you, Jay. Like Jay, you definitely took control, and
you know what? That's
you did
why.
A great job.
But since George is our lead batter, if your lead batter goes down, then second batter has to be lead batter. I didn't have a choice.
Kim Jong George, Kim Jong Jay.
That's right. And I just got to get the funny haircut. But yeah, it was a blast though, man. And it's just easy when we get to do these things we love. And I wanted to tell George too, and I did tell George, but I'm going to tell him publicly now, which was just, there was a point when I was on the way home from the airplane, thinking, man, I just interviewed Bill Steer and all this different stuff. And George, that's all because of you, dude. You set this up, man. I equate it to something Nico McBrain said about Steve Harris one time, which is, it's George's dream. We're just living in it. So, it was, you're a big reason we had such a good weekend with the fest, and you got us behind closed doors because you set up this podcast and everything, and it was great.
I couldn't do it without you guys.
Well, and by the way, this was a good, shaky, weird little first step of where the podcast can actually reach out. Now we have different working arms. So even though George wasn't there, we still managed to pull it off.
Yep.
Somehow. It's a fucking
Somehow.
miracle.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I should also mention then too, though, that what he got back was just a bunch of drunken files, and George had to do the editing. So thanks for doing that.
Yeah, I've been all day going, what order is this in? I already told these guys, I completely missed the Adem file. And so I had everything except for what you're listening to now edited. And then I was like, I thought these guys interviewed Adem. And Will's like, yeah, we did. I'm like, well, I don't have the file. So I had to go back and like shove it, scoot everything down in the digital layout and make room for Adem and put it in there and, move everything down. But
which, incidentally, I did get my signed book from Adem, which I think we might have, I don't know if we referred to it in an interview, but okay. Yeah, and he wrote a nice inscription, and it said something like, "These bears go to 11," which I thought was a great inscription. Mm. But who was the guy that went and sought him out for us, John? Somehow you knew he knew Adem, or he could get Adem for us.
Oh, I think I saw him You mean this weekend?
No, but there's a dude up in the press with us, and you were like, "Yeah, we really wanted." Adam was going to get me a T-shirt, blah blah blah.
The guy that was with Adam?
Yeah,
that was his brother, I thought, wasn't it? Brother-in-law or something?
Oh, he was there last year.
But that was nice of him. It was so nice of him. He sought him out, and we thought, we'll never see him again. A half hour later, but then up he came with T-shirt, a signed book, and Adam came up, and it was great.
Yeah, we hung out with him a little bit last year too. Had a good time.
And he was a really nice guy. We talked baseball with that guy too, so that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Definitely, I agree.
I can tell you this. I already know through the sales pitch on our website and with the Facebook page and now the interviews and all that. I know my buddy John is going to join us next year. 90% sure, unless some disaster befalls.
Mr. Burkholder, John Texas.
Yes, and you'll love him. He's just another Luch. He's a good guy to hang out with. Seen a million shows with him. So and I hope Luch is coming next year.
I hope I'm coming next year.
You're coming next year.
Yeah, well, as long as Albert schedules it not around March 31st. Not around March 31st. Anything else I can do?
Yeah. Easter is because it's
Weird
this
choice.
festival. I didn't have to do the Easter thing at my in-laws with the kids and everything. But the Easter egg hunt and stuff. But it'd be easier if it's not near Easter.
Well, Easter is a
not that we're religious. My kids just love running around a field picking up eggs. So
sure, and chocolate. Did you? What about the last one? Was that wasn't?
That was
March
like
30th?
April 23rd. It was like way further, down, so I could do that.
So it's a movable thing.
Yeah.
Cool. And which, by the way, I think we said it a few times too, but also just hats off to the selection of venue. I thought the venue was great.
The film was great.
Yeah, really fit the fest well and gave you room to wiggle and. It was so interesting to go to a festival like that, drink that much beer, and never get a beer from a bartender. By the way, I think we talked to the bartender once to get 2 bottles of water because the water disappeared from the press room, which was awesome. By the way, there was free water. I think we were the only ones who drank it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and I should mention too, because I posted on the Facebook page that I was going to try to get Dave Windorf for an interview, but he did interviews with nobody. So I talked to Christina, and she said, yeah, he's notoriously. He can be, a little not difficult, but he's either on or off. And he said he didn't want to do anything, so he never even talked to anybody. Though there is a very good interview with him in the latest issue of Decibel. So,
right on.
All in all, it was a great time, guys. Is there any cleanup we need to do here? Or mention anything?
Just thanks, Luch, for tagging along. Thanks for all the people. I saw Warren. Forgot to mention Warren from Black Flag Brewing Company in Maryland.
Who I only saw once, and I never saw him again after the first time I talked to him. So
I saw him like a bunch of times.
I was kind of bummed about that. So,
But it was awesome, and I think it's funny because I feel sort of inadequate in our explanation of the thing. But you had to be there, That's just it, and maybe that's the best weekends are the ones where you had to be there. We had a blast, and it was, of course, George. Your absence duly noted. It was great to be in the same room with you guys, and. There's a reason we're friends, and I've had a blast with you guys. I wish I saw you more often.
Yeah, I don't know if it was mentioned in any of the clips. I don't think it was. But Jay printed out a picture of me from Barbecue, and there's some pictures up on the Facebook of them holding up the picture of me. So,
I don't even remember taking that picture still.
So I was there in spirit.
I was trying to figure out where we took it, John. It looks like an elevator, and that's the best
it is,
I got.
Jay. And as I was saying last night to George and Will and TR, who was with us, I said, I remember everything that happened on the weekend very coherently, minus Jay and I in an elevator taking a picture with George's face.
Just a heads up, John, that's not the only picture we took. I'm kidding, but I will say this: when and I kind of mentioned this already, but when George posts this, I'll post a little, I won't overdo it, but I'll post a little clearinghouse of photos because we have a lot more photos from the.
You can post an album. Just create an album on the Facebook and just dump them.
I will do so. I will, and that includes the guitar players from Power Meds. That guitar we were talking about, that was so amazing. I'll put the George photos up there again, and just a lot of other shenanigans. There's a lot of really funny looks that we were giving each other. So so a few more that I'll share, and then And I would just say this: I would, and anybody who's listening to this, and you live at least remotely in a place that would help you access this festival, I would highly, highly, highly recommend it next year. I'll be there. The boys will be there. It was awesome.
Awesome.
Yep, definitely.
Well done,
definitely.
And
well done, Decibel.
Are we wrapping up here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
So
hopefully we'll have a new regular episode for you in a couple of weeks, and there's a guest that we're not going to talk about yet, but if that works out, that's going to be cool. So I guess we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's a countdown to the couch.
I like that. Countdown to the couch.
Countdown to the couch.
All right. We'll see you then.